Hello, everyone. Welcome to DCU Daily. Here we are, start of the week on Monday. Still a lot of big news in regards to Comic-Con, so we will be covering a lot of that. But we don't start the show like that. We start the show with box office report, usually on Mondays. And of course, the Odyssey can't stop breaking records. It's just like literally impossible for this movie to stop breaking records. Like, it's just like, bro, the haters for this movie are on suicide watch at this point because the Odyssey, it's just killing it. It just can't help it. Sir President Christopher Nolan just can't stop making great movies. So, never bet against Nolan. And with that, it's going to keep breaking records. But with that, Spider-Man Brand New Day might break some records in regards to its opening, worldwide opening. And then Toy Story 5 also breaking records. Not as important as the Odyssey, but still pretty good. Then of course we're gonna dive into MCU Weekly. Lot of stuff in regards to that. A lot of quick hits in regards to that, like with Vision Quest, the new Ghost Rider film coming out, Doomsday, Black Panther 3, Chris Evans talking about what brought him back to the MCU, and all of that. Money. Then Spider-Man Brand New Day, of course, that is, gonna be here in T-minus 3 days. Well, 2 days for the people that are seeing the early screening on Wednesday, but for all of the less lucky people, we are seeing it on Thursday, but that's okay. And then Avengers Doomsday, Rumor Mill, Comic-Con, all that kind of fun stuff. Then speaking of Comic-Con, we're going to be talking tons of trailers, tons of stuff in regards to Spaceballs, because that panel was great. And then we have our Mount Rushmore Monday. You guys picked historical epics, many of which aren't historical, and many of which aren't epics. So that's going to definitely be an interesting Mount Rushmore Monday. Then our quick hits, and then, of course, DCU Daily. We have DC quick hits. We have a little bit in regards to Man of Tomorrow. Got quite a bit in regards to Lanterns, because obviously that is the next project that was being talked about at Comic-Con, of course. And then finally Batman Part 2, got a little bit more insight in regards to the filming of that. But of course, all of that and more after this wonderful little intro that tells the world that we are indeed enough. See you soon.
It doesn't seem to matter what I do. I'm always number two.
All right, mister, I need to paint my abs on to get nominated. You don't see Robert Downey doing that.
You're kidding. You're kidding. I can't open the envelope without the...
Warner Brothers is heading back into the Matrix with a new movie in the works.
Wonder what other surprises are in store.
I want to be Bruce Wayne.
I like that. You're gonna love me.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
You look ridiculous.
Well, not no more, he don't.
What, dude? I can barely understand you. Your accent's insane.
What the
Give me a hand up. Nope, I'm actually okay. Thank you very much.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Here we are, ladies and gents. We're back. Like crack. I don't know. That doesn't make sense. But Caleb is here. Haters gonna hate. Yeah, you're a hater. Like, what are you talking about, bro? And then, yes, indeed, a marvelous Monday. Chicken thighs, good. Dr. Pepper, good. In the baked beans, bad. And then peas and carrots, pretty cool. Movie Spud, hello. You're a hater. Let's just get that perfectly clear. Keyblade Master 88. What's up? Here we are. Dan will join in a few. He's getting his cam and mic worked out, but until that point, we are going to be talking. Oh, here he is. Dan, are you here or are you queer?
I'm here, but like slight bit of thing on the audio.
Okay.
But yeah, no. Hey, it was a great San Diego Comic-Con weekend. So much shit to get through.
That's why we got to start immediately, Dan.
I know,
let's
go. Let's just get going.
Yeah. Also, hi, John. There we go. Box office report time. Let's go, ladies and gents. The first thing is, as I mentioned at the top, the Odyssey is just like it can't help but fucking kill everything around it in a good way. Because the Odyssey set a record for the, I believe, the lowest drop ever for like a blockbuster movie, like ever, or something like that.
I mean, basically, no movie that has opened over $100 million in its opening weekend has ever had a smaller drop in its second
Yes.
weekend. Like
I
over the
believe it
weekend,
was 32% drop, which is
it's even less because over the weekend the number was 87 million, but you can see here the actuals from Monday afternoon are 90 million.
mhm,
So the total drop was like 30%,
yeah.
which is crazy. For I mean, we see that for like smaller movies like Obsession, I think had really good hold and stuff. Like for a movie
Well,
that
with
made
Obsession,
you know,
I think that was the best ever period, because I think it increased 6%. Like, because there was a lot of stuff on
right.
TikTok and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So more people went to see it the second weekend. And I don't think that has ever been done this century. So in terms of period, it's Obsession because that increased. But in terms of over 100 million for that opening weekend and then going into the second weekend, that's the lowest drop. And that's pretty damn
Yeah,
impressive. But it's like,
very impressive.
it's Nolan, bro. Like, come on. The only person that hates Nolan right now are racists, misogynists,
Or people named Caleb.
transphobics, and Caleb.
Yeah. Exactly.
We'll get to that in a
Good
second.
movie
We're
spot.
gonna do some tracking numbers later, but for right now, we're just talking about its weekend. So yeah, 90 million second weekend, a record for Nolan. Hades Down opens at 10 million, which is just a it's not like an actual film, it is a filming of the Broadway show right now.
I will say though,
But
from
that
Bleecker
opens to
Street,
a Bleecker Street record, which is good.
that's
It apparently beat Hamilton.
Bleecker Street never done anything better than that. I mean, that's a big number for them. They're like a
Yeah,
mini major. Not even a major. They're just a mini. They're just
yeah.
out of New York. They're like a small town. They've never kind of grown to A24 levels.
Wow. A studio
Yeah.
named Bleecker Street. It comes out of New York. Wow, that's crazy, bro. But yeah. So obviously, Odyssey. Not only the haters, but like I feel like the Warner Brothers executives are on fucking suicide watch right now after both Oppenheimer and this are getting near to or might exceed $1
It's
billion. So
I mean, between Oppenheimer and the Odyssey, that's gonna be $2 billion that Warner Brothers could have had. You know,
yep,
like,
but they
come on.
didn't.
So
So with that, among second weekend, Odyssey ties with Top Gun Maverick's 90 million second weekend in the 12th spot on the all-time list of best sophomore frames. As we told you, Odyssey also owns the second best weekend ever for an R-rated movie behind Deadpool and Wolverine. Odyssey was supposed to come in with 26.6 Sunday, but rose to 29.78, just 14% off from Saturday. Wowza. That the fucking article literally says wowza. All right, guys.
indeed.
Fucking creme de la creme at Deadline over here for writers. Running
Hey, you gotta have fun
domestic
with your
is
job.
289.3, despite Spider-Man Brand New Day coming in this week with a projected opening to $200 million. Universal keeps the IMAX screen. Get fucked, Disney. But
I mean,
love for Hades
dude,
Town as well. So, that's good for them.
but speaking of IMAX, if you go to the next headline, because that to me is significant. Like we talk about how big IMAX
But
has
hey,
been.
Motor City's doing really good. By the way,
Yeah.
guys, go see Motor City. Go see it. It's great.
I didn't actually go to see it yesterday, but I will see it. I will see it ASAP.
We'll try to do a movie review together.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's its budget was 30 million, yet it only made about 1.6, which is, not exactly great. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be like a Nice Guys situation where it's just like, oh well, it didn't do well, but it shall be remembered because it is great. But yes. With this, box office for the Odyssey soars to 652 million globally after 2 weekends, including 105 $140 million in IMAX.
See, I mean,
Caleb,
speaking
buddy,
of,
you get a hater group all to your own because you're a special kind of hater.
hey, Steven. No, I mean, dude, like speaking of like again, how much IMAX matters to the Odyssey, how much the Odyssey matters to IMAX. 140 million. Like just do the rough math. It's got 652 million globally already between 2 weekends. 140 million, I believe, is gotta be like almost 20% of that box office. Almost 20% of the Odyssey's box office is coming from IMAX alone. That is huge. I think that's almost unprecedented. That's not even like all the PLFs combined. That is just IMAX. And guess what? It's not opened in China yet, which we will talk about in a minute. So you add on top whatever China is going to give it soon. It's wild. It's just, this is crazy. These are huge numbers. I don't think any IMAX movie has done this good in this short a period of time outside of maybe like Avengers Endgame or something like that. But yeah. But let's keep going. more records and numbers.
More records. We were just talking about this. The Odyssey has officially recorded the smallest second weekend drop ever for a $100 million opener, making $87 million domestically this weekend, only negative 30% from last week. And the domestic is 286.3, which we stated.
And add 3 million to both of those numbers because the final is higher. 90 million, 289.3 million total. It's already like in the top 5 highest grossing domestically of the year. We'll talk about Toy Story later, which I think is the highest so far this year.
Mm-hmm.
But it will catch that number probably in the next couple of weeks at this rate. So
yeah. But didn't mean to do that. My bad. And yeah, as projected, the Odyssey became the second fastest R-rated film in history after Deadpool and Wolverine. 300 million could come as early as Monday, not quite yet, but in a few days.
By the end of the day today, it might be already past 300 million.
Yeah.
The second fastest rated R movie to cross 200 million, which only behind, Deadpool and Wolverine, ahead of the original Deadpool. These are big numbers. And again, at this point, I would say, John, by this time next week, we are most likely looking at 400 million or more for the Odyssey, which would be wild. Like it would make the Odyssey the only rated R movie outside of Deadpool and Wolverine to cross $400 million at the US box office.
Yeah.
Hopefully
it beats those numbers because fuck Deadpool and Wolverine.
And speaking of Deadpool and Wolverine, they're projecting this movie now to make a $1.3 billion, which is pretty much what Deadpool Wolverine did in his final tally. But let's talk about China. Right there.
The Odyssey is now at 639 worldwide, now expected to earn at least 1.3 billion. Maybe not 2 billion, but 1.3 billion is still a lot. Yeah. And
by the way, 652 is the updated number worldwide now, which is basically half of 1.3, which means with the legs that it's got, it's going to double that number in the next few weeks. 1.3 billion would be Christopher Nolan's highest grossing movie of his career. It's going to be more than The Dark Knight, more than The Dark Knight Rises.
But remember, Dan, nobody's seeing this movie. It went woke, so it's broke, right? Right?
I mean...
Right?
I don't know.
Right, Dan?
That's what people were saying. Dude, I still see...
it sucks, bro. It sucks.
I'm on... Legit, I'm on social media looking at, like, Millie Alcock Supergirl stuff still, and I see people, shit posting about it. There was a comment about that like in our on our channel, one of the videos. Some dude literally put up a YouTube video link about how he was dunking on how Millie Alcock is like ugly, and I was like, what is, like, I don't get what's wrong with some people. Like, people live in bubbles, and it's just, or just, touch grass, wake up and smell the roses.
Hold on, I actually created a meme for this. I might have shown it already. I forget, but yeah, there it is. Supergirl couldn't do it, but the Odyssey did, and that's all that matters.
Hey, Anthony, you should take your girl to see the Odyssey. I think you'll have fun. This is a great movie. It's not even, dude. We're going to talk about historical epics in a few minutes, or well, in some time.
In like 4 hours, probably, with the amount of shit we have.
But historical
Thanks,
epics,
Caleb.
like Lawrence of Arabia, Bridge in the River Kwai, Ben-Hur, those were like 3 hour, 40 minutes minimum. The Odyssey is 2 hours, 53 minutes.
Yeah.
It's light.
But hey, although speaking of IMAX China prepares full Odyssey rollout across nearly 800 screens as CEO cites the Christopher Nolan effect, which is pretty damn cool.
Bags of money, that's what that effect is. Bags of money.
Yeah, it's money. That's what it is. Money.
I mean, dude, China has the single most amount of IMAX screens of any country in the world. Like over 700, nearly 800 screens in IMAX. That many number of screens, I don't think, I mean, certainly not in the US, and you probably have to combine a bunch of the other countries to get close to that number.
It's just people trying to make themselves feel better about themselves. Like that's they have nothing in life, so they hate. That is essentially what it is. It's like, she's successful. She has built a good career for herself. She's worked hard to get to a good place. Yeah, her movie bombed. It's just like, that's all it is. Like, I remember I did the same shit. Like, I did the same shit not too long ago. Like, I did that same kind of shit. I'm not a perfect person. I was doing that. And then, like, literally when I was, like, thinking about it, I'm like, I shouldn't be saying this shit. This isn't right. So I've said mean stuff about people I don't even know. And then I'm like, who am I to fucking say this kind of shit about people? And then I stopped because I matured and I realized that's not a good thing to do. That's not right to do. So I was like, you know what? Let's not do that. I know it's like you could go the whole idea of like everyone's beautiful, but like, I mean, don't get me wrong. You can still body shame people. Like Mr. Orange Man with small hands. You can do that because he sucks. He's a piece of shit. So make fun of him. Don't make fun of just random woman because you don't like movie. Ridiculous, Anyway, but yeah, side tangent. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah,
no one here should judge people that way. No one. I mean, no one at all. Not just here.
But speaking of the Odyssey again, like just IMAX, like I said, over 700, close to 800 IMAX screens in China alone. That's the most in any country in the world. And get this, China's IMAX screens are not like the IMAX screens in everywhere else in the world, where basically IMAX gets to decide what programming goes on those IMAX screens. In China, the local Chinese theaters get to decide what they put in their IMAX theaters. So it's very different. That being said, the Chinese theaters, over 700 of them, 700 IMAX screens, are giving the Odyssey an exclusive IMAX release. And just imagine the amount of money that's going to add on to the tally. I feel like that's probably going to add another 100 plus million alone this weekend or this upcoming weekend. So yeah, that's big. I mean, it's more than the US, Canada, Europe combined. There's the single biggest IMAX market. So the Odyssey's done what it's done already without China. And we'll talk about Brand New Day later and what that's going to do in China. I mean, it's just,
yeah,
this is going to be a big summer at the movies just because of these two movies.
Yep. So the Tom Holland effect, I guess. The Tom Holland and Zendaya effect.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah.
Yes.
They truly are a power couple. They're about to make like $2 billion at the box office with both of their movies in July specifically. And that's not even counting Dune Part 3 for Zendaya. And then we don't know if Tom Holland's going to be in Doomsday. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. But if that's the case, then
you figure drawing. But yeah, I mean, speaking of, let's talk about Spider-Man Brand New Day, John, because I've been drumming this up for so long. This movie, it's now across $60 million domestically and 120 worldwide in pre-sales. The last time we talked about this, we looked at like 200 or 250 million domestic opening weekend. Now they're projecting the domestic opening weekend to be over 300 million, and worldwide, get this, Spider-Man Brand New Day is projected to make over $800 million in just its opening weekend. That's more than the Odyssey has done in 2 weekends.
I hope CC Black never comes back.
I'm just like you made a really bad bet, but I'm just saying, like, the only opening weekend that has ever done better than the Spider-Man Brand New Day will, which by the way will at this point be more than Spider-Man No Way Home. The only movie to ever have made more money in its opening weekend was Avengers Endgame, which, remember this, Avengers Endgame opened to $1.2 billion in its opening weekend. A lot of movies, like The Odyssey is gonna finish probably at 1.3. Avengers Endgame made 1.2 in its opening weekend. Spider-Man Brand New Day is gonna make 800 million in its opening weekend worldwide. You speak of Tom Holland and Zendaya making $2 billion, you combine like 800 million total for The Odyssey by this time next week, and 800 million for the for a Spider-Man movie. 1.6, 1.7 billion Zendaya and Tom Holland already will have in the bag by the time we get to next Monday. That is huge. That is huge. I don't know how else to say that. That's just it's hard to like say.
He sounds greedy, so he's gonna want his money. So that's fine. Unlike Yash, I stay good on my promises. So.
I mean, John, did you expect, because like these numbers keep climbing, like they just keep going up. Like we're 150, 200, 250, now 300. And I mean, this includes China. China alone is going to open to 150 to 250. And then you got the North American market. I mean, that's how you're going to get to 800 million. That's huge. I'm like, who's to say it's not going to make $1 billion at this point in its opening weekend? That's just, I mean, it's wild.
See. We'll see.
It is a brand new day at the box office, indeed.
But and apparently it's having the best pre-sales for any movie this decade in both the UK and Australia. It's now on track for a $35 to $45 million opening weekend at the British box office, and 20 plus for in Australia. By the way, Lazy Work on Australia movie needs more shows.
They better, because like the shit is selling. It is spectacular.
But will it be good? That's the question.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the early reaction seems to say that the movie is going to be fantastic, spectacular. I hear. Yeah.
Maybe even amazing.
Yeah.
Maybe even the ultimate Spider-Man film.
Yeah, it will be ultimate.
We're done. Because Toy Story 5 is next. Because it's grossed $1 billion, becoming the highest grossing movie of the year. Well, until The Odyssey, hopefully. So.
Well, but it does become the second $1 billion movie of the year after the Super Mario Brothers Galaxy movie, and like Toy Story 5, it's the highest grossing movie of the year because obviously Super Mario Bros. Galaxy barely crossed $1 billion, and then kind of petered out at that point. It was like toward the last few days it was around. Toy Story 5 is going to be around for a few more weeks, so hitting $1 billion now, means that it's probably got some runway here to go. I mean, yeah, Figure Drawing saying no shame if Spider-Man makes more than Doomsday at this WTF point. Yeah. I mean, look, Spider-Man has always been the most popular character in Marvel's portfolio, and that includes the Avengers. So given how well they have, shepherded Spider-Man in the last few years in terms of the box office, it's, just a barely average Spider-Man Homecoming made 800 million. It's like the supposedly worst Andrew Garfield movies both made over 700 million. And people don't look at those as good movies. It's just so like a really good Spider-Man movie can easily. The last one is still, remember.
Bro, the shit made $1 billion. Of course they're going to make another one. Are you fucking stupid? Come on, man.
But I mean, look, Spider-Man No Way Home is sitting at 1.92 billion. I'm pretty sure Spider-Man Brand New Day can hit that number.
The rumor is...
They've already talked about Toy Story 6. Like they're already working.
The rumor is that they if Toy Story 5 was going to do well, they were going to make a 6 and a 7. So yeah, Toy Story anytime soon.
I remember reading that they were already working on it. Like it's not even like a speculation at this point. They're going to do it. So, but yeah, I mean, Toy Story's
mega hit Toy Story 5 will be Shrek 2's entire run as number 7 highest grossing animation movie of all time. At the box office, the animation grossed another spectacular 2.9 on the 6th Friday with insane legs, just a 32.1% drop from last Friday, despite having lost another 25 theaters yesterday in insane competition. It hits $441.5 million. And this Saturday, it will also be Shrek's $445 million run as number 7 highest grossing animation movie of all time domestically.
And dude, this was from last week, so this has all already happened. Like it's
Yep.
already beat Shrek 2's run. I mean, I don't think Toy Story 5 will become like the highest grossing animated movie of all time. I don't think it has a momentum to get there. And then the Odyssey and Spider-Man Brand New Day more so, because Spider-Man Brand New Day is more for a family audience than the Odyssey, is definitely going to affect Toy Story 5's box office receipts. But I do think, being another $1 billion Toy Story movie, like you said, there's no way they're not going to do at least one or two more of these. So, and yeah, we'll talk about the Avengers Doomsday tie into Spider-Man later, because there is supposedly something Doomsday related, maybe at the beginning and at the end of the movie. So we'll talk about that as we go. But yeah, Toy Story 5, second $1 billion movie of the year. Actually, third. No, oh my god, it's the third one. I totally forgot. Michael is actually the highest. He was the highest grossing movie. 1.025 now. Toy Story just crossed that number. This tweet is a little old, but Toy Story is now outgrossed both of those two. But yeah, Toy Story 5, Super Mario Galaxy, and Michael are the $3 billion movies of the year. So yeah, I mean, I think we can get 6 or 7 this year.
6,
Yeah.
7?
6-7 billion dollar movies. I think it's possible.
Yeah. But next up, what do we have next? Dan, what do we got next?
Oh, we gotta talk about MCU Weekly. Lots of Marvel stuff. So much Marvel stuff.
Yeah. So here we are. Apparently Vision, going into MCU Weekly quick hits. Vision Quest merchandise reveals first look at Human Vision, an Ultron new robot, and human designs. So apparently these are from the these are from the Funko Pop line, and you can see it's like a split down the middle where it's like White Vision and Human Vision, and then it's Robot Ultron and Ultron that looks like fucking, Stanley Tucci as Abraham Erskine.
I thought I thought the Ultron one looked like James Spader, don't you? I could kind of see the James Spader vibes. What? I mean, James Spader's playing the character, so
yeah. Well, of course it's gonna look like James Spader. I mean, like, with the beard and the glasses and like the.
For sure, yeah, I guess so. It's a deep cut. I mean, at this point, you're going all the way back to the.
Yeah, I legit forgot he was in the fucking MCU when we were doing our goddamn Professor X casting. And then you're like, yeah, he was fucking this guy. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, how the fuck did I forget him? Holy shit.
Hey, remember Tommy Lee Jones was in the MCU as well?
Yeah, that I remember.
He's like, well, I'm not going to kiss you. And he's like, all right, he's jumping off the plane. Yeah. If you know, you know. Anyway. No, cool designs.
Kevin Feige on Ryan Gosling's comic-inspired pitch for Ghost Rider, Avengers Doomsday, Doctor Doom complaints. So this is about all this. Kevin Feige teased, I am going to let Ryan reveal what he wants to reveal when he wants to reveal it. He's a huge fan of the comics. He did come to us particularly with a specific vision based on some particular comics, but I'll let him reveal that. Johnny Blaze and Danny Ketch are the two most iconic Ghost Riders, but their origins differ significantly. Blaze, a motorcycle stunt rider, became the Ghost Rider after making a deal with Mephisto to save his adopted father, bonding with the demon Zarathos. Danny Ketch, meanwhile, gained the spirit of vengeance after discovering a mystical motorcycle and was later revealed to have a supernatural connection to the Ghost Rider legacy. While Blaze is more anti-heroic and tormented, Ketch is often portrayed as a traditional superhero. Elsewhere on the red carpet, Feige confirmed that Nova will be a movie and broke his silence on the complaints from fans that Avengers Doomsday's big bad Doctor Doom hasn't received the same level of build-up as Thanos heading into Infinity War. And I'm just going to say this. I'm going to say, because I know what he says. And like, this has got to be the dumbest, most brain-dead fucking thing that Kevin Feige has ever said throughout his entire fucking career. Because this is what he says. The Thanos build-up has built up in people's heads over the years. He sat on a chair at the end. He put on a gauntlet and said, I'll do it myself, and he yelled at Ronan on a video screen briefly. When we got to Infinity War, we said this is really the introduction of Thanos. Doomsday is an introduction and the story of Doom. You peel the onion, you learn things about him.
Nice, DJ.
What the fuck are you even fucking talking about, bro? What the fuck do you mean? Thanos had no build-up, bro. Half of the fucking multiverse saga built up Thanos. You fucking brain-dead dumbass. Doom had one thing. It was at the end of Fantastic Four, and that's literally all we got. Just because you're fucked up planning and you invested on the wrong guy who turned out to be a fucking wife beater, that you're like, oh yeah, Doom got as much build-up as Thanos. Fuck you, you fucking bald-headed freak. Get the fuck out of here. Are you stupid? Oh, Thanos had no build-up. Dude, shut the fuck up. Stop ego stroking this fucking movie and just get off the playground, you fucking piece of shit. Like, are you fucking stupid, bro? Like, what? Are you kidding me? Oh, they got the same amount of buildup. Bullshit, they got the same amount of fucking buildup, you fucking asshole. God damn, how can you be this fucking stupid?
Well, okay,
fucking
so I will,
bro.
Well, okay, so John, at first glance, when I read this article, I was like, oh, okay, I had the same feeling. I felt the same way as you. But then I chased down the clip because it was from a brand. I think Brandon Davis did this interview, like, on the press junket. Like, he was literally, when they walk out of Hall H, they'll go and do stand-up interviews with a bunch of people. And in that interview, but basically, Kevin, the whole thing, Kevin Feige first is like, I mean, look, at the end of the day, he is kind of spinning it a little bit because it's, for the sake of PR, but he does say, look, I remember, like, back then, like, there was Twitter threads where people were like, oh my God, Thanos has really not done much. It's like, all he did was, like, pick up a gauntlet and, like, sit on a throne and stuff. And there were memes about it. And then, whereas when we started doing Avengers Infinity War, we really were like, this is the story of Thanos. We're going to introduce him proper. They had a motion capture and everything that went into, giving us, I guess, a fully realized version of Thanos rather than one we just got cutscenes of. And he's saying with Doctor Doom, Doomsday is meant to be the introduction to him, to Doctor Doom. And then we go from there, build up Victor Von Doom. And then Secret Wars is where, like, I guess you take the next step. So, I mean, he's still doing a little bit of spin, but, like, when you listen to the whole quote, it makes a bit more sense. But I mean, hey, how else can you spin it, like, considering how things have gone in the MCU the last 10 years. But, hey, Anthony, I think to your point, Anthony, I think we are getting Johnny Blaze, but John, can I get your reaction to Ryan Gosling, Ghost Rider, directed by Sean Levy? What did you think about this when you heard it?
I actually have a picture for this. Hang on. I gotta find it though.
I already got it. I know exactly what you're looking for. Let me.
Nope.
Oh,
that was pretty much my thoughts. A picture is worth it. I mean, that's great. That's hilarious. Absolutely. But if you want to know my thoughts, that's my thoughts. That picture is worth 1,000 words, and that's all I have to say about that.
Dude, and then Sean Levy came on stage, and, like, the way Sean Levy talks is like a total bro, and it's like, this is gonna be awesome, bro. And I'm like, we're vibing. Let's do this thing, bro.
It's gonna be awesome, bro. The guy who makes visionless mid-tier slop, who only got fucking hired for this piece of shit, is because he made Marvel $1.4 billion. Yeah, that's literally fucking it.
Dude, I'm just saying,
we're gonna get the guy who did Night at the Museum, Battle of the Smithsonian to direct Ghost Rider. Okay, come at me when you fucking hire a better director, you freak.
I mean, I will say Sean Levy seems to have unlocked the ultimate, like, mid-tier studio director lottery.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, he's doing Starfighter, he's doing this. Like, okay, here's the thing. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Prove me wrong. That's all when it comes to anything comic book related, hell, even anything related in terms of adaptation, is prove me wrong. Maybe Sean Levy can fucking deliver S-tier entertainment with this, and cool. Awesome. Great. But I'm just saying, prove me wrong. That's all I'm saying. Like, I want to be proven wrong. I want to love this movie. Because I think Ryan Gosling is when it comes to Canadian Ryans and their Marvel characters, they are clearly very passionate. So, that's what I'm saying, you motherfucker. Hey, if James Gunn isn't going to hire him for Batman, fucking get him again. He made you 800 million. I know that's not 1.4 million or billion, sorry, but like, come on, guys. Sam Raimi was right.
I mean, Multiverse of Madness also made like
on,
950
bro. Like, come
million. So.
Every single one is his worst movie because he's not made a great movie ever.
Well, hey, Sanju and Grabil. I mean, like, I will say this though. Look, Sean Levy is a very
I didn't see
safe
Deadpool
choice.
3 because I didn't want to see it on principle, but like I've seen clips from that movie. I know that doesn't mean anything because I'm missing context. I haven't seen the whole movie. So maybe it's really the fucking greatest fucking thing since sliced bread. Even though literally all I've seen from it is like, oh, it's a nostalgia bait cameo fest. And the lighting and cinematography is like the blandest I have ever seen on a film next to a Russo brothers movie. But like, sure, maybe it's like the greatest fucking thing ever. But all I know is it's the movie that brought back Hugh Jackman, even though he had the most perfect swan song in the history of cinema in regards to any character. And then he came back for money and a Deadpool threequel. Sure. Keep telling me that it's the greatest thing ever. Okay, it's a $1 billion movie. You know what else is a $1 billion movie? Transformers 4. Like, hello. Okay.
I mean, I did like Transformers 4, but I know
like,
that's a guilty
half of the
pleasure
Fast and
of
Furious
mine.
fucking movies. Come on now. Let's not equate money with success, like in terms of quality. All right. But you know, I'm as I've said, prove me wrong. I want it to be good. Since they already fucked up with like a more horror character like Blade, I hope they don't fuck this up. Considering, you know, Ryan Gosling is like very protective over this, it seems like hopefully we'll get like sort of a ghost director situation, and like Ryan Gosling is like the one really behind it all. So that would be good. Yeah. It's like Toy Story. What guys in the chat? What's the better movie that should have been the ending, but then there were more movies after the fact that shouldn't exist? Toy Story 3 or Logan? Let us know in the comments below. You know.
Well, yeah. Look, it's not like I do agree with what John is saying in the sense that I think like a lot of fans wanted the kind of Ghost Rider that even like, you know, for example, like Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider movies were very like niche at the end of the day. And they were kind of like janky. And I think what people have been wanting to see is they want to see Ghost Rider truly adapted from the comics, like get into the demonic side of things, like explore that stuff, kind of like Hellboy. Like, and I'm talking about like the Ron Perlman version of it. Like you want to go to that level of like the original Hellboy greatness because Ghost Rider is capable of that. I love the version they had with Gabriel Luna and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought it was pretty good for what it was.
Well, the problem is we don't know if that's canonical or not because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.'s canon is very wonky.
Kevin Feige famously hates that show for whatever reason, but that's fine. I mean, I think it's because Marvel Television was kind of set up against his will at that time, and even though they did crossover, I think Kevin Feige doesn't really like to acknowledge it. But anyway, that being said, I think people wanted like Ghost Rider to be realized to his rated R. Like he was asked multiple times, even by Brandon Davis, like, is it going to be rated R? And to that question, he was saying, oh, I'm not going to say anything. I'll let Ryan reveal what he wants to reveal when he wants to reveal it. Which, I mean, look, it's ultimately like Kevin Feige, you're the guy in charge. I mean, he was just deflecting on the question because they don't want to give any more information. The bigger thing that worries me about, because here's the thing. One thing is for sure, Sean Levy has always played it safe, which is partly the reason why he's great for these studio movies, because he delivers. I mean, a lot of times safe is what you need because like $1.3 billion, nobody at Disney is complaining, despite the fact that Deadpool and Wolverine was a nostalgia fest, a cameo bait movie, but that's okay. That's all right. A lot of people still loved it. It was like a send-off to the X-Men for the 4th time. They're going to get another one this year. But,
yeah, pretty much.
But, you know, the point I was trying to make is, like, with Sean Levy, you're going to get a safe version that's not going to be particularly... Because, like, Sean Levy is not, like, an auteuristic director. He doesn't... You can't look at a Sean Levy movie and be like, that is a Sean Levy movie. I like the way he does X, Y, and Z. It's just, he does a lot of, like, you know, things safe, which is, you know, Deadpool 3 has a lot of gore because it's rated R. So, but like, honestly, is it more inspiring, like in terms of the story, than the first Deadpool or even the second one. I think the first two were better. I think there's a lot of other directors they could have gone with, but obviously, here's the thing. Like there's two other points that the bigger question, the two other points I wanted to make. The first one, the biggest question I have here, or the biggest concern I have about Ghost Rider, is not the director. My concern here is they're doing, like, on the surface, something very similar to what they did a few years ago when they revealed Marshall Ali was Blade. Because when they did that, a lot of us thought, oh, they already got something in the pipeline. Because usually when Marvel announces a movie, they've already, like, and you got a star attached, they're already pretty far down the road with, like, story development and where you want to take it. And we'll talk about the Onslaught trailer later, Angelica, don't you worry. But with Blade, that never ended up panning out. They went through 3 different iterations, 7 different directors, and we still don't have a Blade movie. So this seems similar, but I think by the same token, what they did here with bringing in Sean Levy, who's already made a movie for them, is already in the house of Disney, making a movie with the same actor, Ryan Gosling, Starfighter, next year across the street at Lucasfilm. They're trying to ensure here that no matter what happens,
because Marvel hates black people.
So
I mean, what?
So I think but I think what they're trying to do here is, like, they want to make sure that Sean Levy, no matter what happens, this guy's gonna deliver us the movie by 2028. And I don't think, like, all of a sudden
it's because it's a Russo brothers move. That's essentially what it is. It's like, you made us $1 billion before. Do it again, bitch. Like, it's like I know, like, I know what they're doing. Like, it's 110%. It's gonna happen with Daniel Destin Cretton. I already mentioned this before on the show. It's like, you made us money, so do it again. I know they're like, oh, because I remember Kevin Feige also said this. I don't know if this is being talked about in one of the links, but he was also like, well, the reason that we have Secret Wars as the only movie in 2027, we're focusing on quality instead of quantity. It's like, yeah, okay, but, like, show us the quality. Where is the quality? Because you're hiring directors not based on their ability to create quality. They're hired based on their ability to make you lots and lots of money. Because Sean Levy is a director for hire, Russo brothers, directors for hire. Yep. You know, Destin Daniel Cretton is probably the best out of those 4 directors. Well, I guess you could say 4 because Russo brothers are 2 people, but it's, you know what I mean. Yeah. But it's just you know, Destin Daniel Cretton seems like he has a good vision for Spider-Man. Obviously, we'll see when the movie comes out in a couple days, but it just feels like, oh, like, come on, like, I don't know, fucking the people who directed fucking Captain Marvel, if they want to come back, oh yeah, sure, you made us $1 billion, you can come back and direct more slop for us. And I don't know, it just feels weird to me. Like, it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna focus on quality. It's like, all right, I'll be here. I'll be here when you finally get there. Yeah. I'll believe it when I see it. Well, so
look, I think on the okay, just to kind of summarize, and then we can move. We got to move on because there's so much other stuff to do. But basically, I think they were worried that we're gonna go down the path of Blade, so they wanted to bring in a director who they've worked with before, so it's more of a sure thing. But by hedging to make sure that the Blade thing doesn't repeat itself, they've gotten a director here, Sean Levy, who's not really, you know, somebody who's going to give you the most creatively savvy, something new and unique. And therefore, I think a lot of people are worried that we're just going to get the most mainstream generic version of Blade. But I guess if it's got Ryan Gosling in it and the first one does well, then maybe the sequel, you could bring in somebody else. So look, I mixed feelings all around, but, like, let's just look right now. I'm just worried they're gonna make their 2028 release date, because I don't want this to be another Blade. That's the biggest thing I'll say for now. Like, let's just see what it turns into.
I do hope, but here's the thing. I'll say this and then we'll move on. Like, I don't want any of these movies to be bad at all. Like, I don't want this. I know Figure Drawing thinks I, like, want this. I don't. I'm just saying, I'm just like not a Marvel dick rider. I just tell it like it is. Like, bro, I am so fucking excited for Spider-Man. Meanwhile, I'm not at all excited for DC's Lanterns. Like, it's like, when I see quality, I go towards that. Like, I think Brand New Day will be a great movie. I don't think DC's Lanterns will be a good show. But obviously, maybe Brand New Day will suck. Maybe Lanterns is the greatest thing ever and will make me a Tom King dick rider. I don't fucking know. Probably won't happen. But I'm just gonna say, like, who knows at this point? I agree.
Yeah.
I like Ghost Rider. I like Gosling. I hope it's a good movie. But I'm just telling it like it is. I'm honest. I'm not gonna dick ride anybody. I'm just gonna be like, this is what it is. This is what I see. I want Ghost Rider to be good. I want Brand New Day to be good. I want all these movies to be good because here's the thing. If Ghost Rider is successful, then again, this will be a case of Marvel owning DC. Why? Because DC could have done the same thing with a horror-esque character like Swamp Thing, but James Mangold fucked off and did like 20 other movies instead. This is another case of Marvel beating them to the punch because again, Feige also confirmed, we kind of glossed over it, Nova is a movie. They're fucking owning Green Lantern Nova, with that because Nova is essentially the Marvel version of Green Lantern, and they're making that an actual movie instead of a show, like Green Lantern should have been. But they were scared because, the 2011 movie exists. So that's all I'll say. I want these movies to be successful. It can get a one-up on DC that they tried to do with Swamp Thing, but it never happened. And then we can see more demonic shit in the fucking MCU. That's what I want to see. That's the stuff I like. I like magic, and I like street-level stuff. So hopefully, if Ghost Rider's good, and I want it to be good, then that can introduce us to maybe finally getting Blade off the ground. Even though they said it was canceled, they can bring shit back. Yeah. And we can get like Midnight Suns. We can get a proper Doctor Strange sequel. We can get maybe a proper Moon Knight season 2. I don't know. But you can bring in all these like magic characters that that the Marvel Universe hasn't touched upon, and more demonic stuff, more like creepy horror stuff. Now, I'm not saying go full on to that because that's like R-rated thing, but like if you want to play it, say PG-13, you can make that work. But like, yeah, get like maybe like get in like Werewolf by Night, get a Man Thing movie. That would be awesome. Again, that would be the biggest one up Marvel would get because Man Thing's a ripoff of Swamp Thing. So like, boom, we made a Man Thing movie before you could fucking make a Swamp Thing movie. Chuck rocks, James Gunn. So yeah. Anyway, sorry, I went a little bit too long, but that's
I just wanted to kind of quickly provide a correction. By the way, Sean Levy did direct all three of the Night. Sean Levy directed all three of the Night at the Museum movies. It wasn't just the last one. Just a
no, yeah, I know that. I know that.
I mean, he may have directed the worst one, but he also directed the best one and the one in the middle, depending on which one you think is the best. But
yeah, no. I just pulled Battle of the Smithsonian because I remember I watched that. And I'm like,
that was the middle one actually, because
that was the second
Secret
one.
of the Tomb was the
Secret of the Tomb was the third one. Yeah.
Which
it had Hugh Jackman in it.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. And what's her name? I'm forgetting right now. Alice Eve. Yep. Wonderful part of the film.
Anyway, but let's move on a bit. Dan can't help it being horny. Avengers Doomsday will see Chris Evans return to the MCU. Anthony Mackie reveals if Sam's time as Cap is over. Not escaping the allegations, Marvel, but we'll see. But it seems Mackie's time is not over just yet, as he was quick to point to Steve Rogers' time as Nomad, something that's been rumored to occur in the MCU for quite some time, but seems to finally be happening in Doomsday. Steve Rogers in the comic book, there is a comic book. You say you're a nerd, read the comic book. Don't be a nerd by trade, be a nerd by fact. So in the comic book, Steve Rogers becomes Nomad, said Mackie. So damn, pointing out all the posers. Respect, Mackie. Too bad you couldn't have had a good Captain America movie, but I like Anthony Mackie.
By the way, this adds up. He looked like he was like, "Come on, that's the first question to throw at me." I got the receipts for you. Kind of look on his face when you watch the interview. The other thing, I kind of put this in the wrong order because, like, actually, if you go to the Chris Evans article, which is I think 4 down, I think from here.
Yeah.
Because if you tie this up with what Chris Evans talked about, he said that he had gotten pitched by Kevin Feige and Louis D'Esposito like a dozen times. Like pretty much right after Endgame, they went back to him and were like, we want you to come back. We want you to you could be Nomad and stuff. And he was like, he kept turning it down. And ultimately when he finally said yes, it was after they brought him like the pitch for like Avengers Doomsday. And they were like, well, RDJ is back. And Evans was like, look, I was a little precious about it. I wanted to preserve it, which I think we all agree. But when he was like, okay, so RDJ's coming back, you're doing the whole Doomsday thing, and yeah, I can do that now. So you combine what he said about being pitched for Nomad for a long time, you look at what Steve is dressed at in the movie trailers, and then you go back to the Anthony Mackie article, literally saying in the comics there's Nomad. John, I mean, I think at this point it's pretty much confirmed that Steve Rogers is back, and he's back as Nomad until further notice. It's some form, variety, variation of Nomad, right? Like, he's not Captain Hydra unless they throw us for a loop. But I mean, this pretty much confirms that he's Nomad. No,
Pretty much, I would say so.
yeah, I'm like, it's just, you add up the pieces, it's like it's staring you in the face in that sense, unless they're just trying to throw us off the mark, which would be interesting. But
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's
I mean,
gonna be
remember, they
fun
got
to see
Andrew
them
Garfield to
on the screen
lie
again.
for a year, but he lied to fucking Emma Stone's face. Like, straight up. Like, you know, Andrew Garfield's in it to win it, bro. Like,
Well, they're not going out anymore, so I think it's like, I got
no,
nothing
they're
to
still
lose.
really good friends, though. That's the thing, though. Like,
Yeah,
that's,
yeah.
So that's all
Yeah.
I'm saying is they're good friends.
But the
He's like,
stakes
he's
are
my
good, but
friend,
dude,
and he fucking
I know.
lied to my face about it. Like, damn, bro.
But believe me, if they were dating, the stakes would be different. So, yeah.
But anyway, now we go
yeah.
on to fucking great fucking
Great.
Namor.
Tena-
But
Tena Huerta.
Tena Huerta Mejia on Namor. Namor's
Great
Avengers Doomsday
pronunciation.
relationships with Sue Storm and Shuri. When asked about Namor's reaction, first impression to Sue Storm, this energy, this woman who is powerful, he's like, okay, she's protecting her family, her world, and she's a leader and not a tyrannical leader. And in real life, when you know that kind of person, that's impressive. And for Namor, that happened with Sue. The Wakandans are there, and we're not enemies anymore. Not at the moment, not right now. We need to join together to defeat this big threat, and everything happens because Sue Storm pushes all the action in terms of Namor and this world. So,
Hey, John,
essentially,
did you say family?
what I respect about
Did you-
this is
okay.
that he's bobbing and weaving all the fucking Sue Storm
Yeah.
X Namor memes, and honestly, mad respect to him for that. Mad fucking respect. 'Cause I fucking hate those memes. They're so fucking stupid. So, like, honestly, good for him. Good for him. Like,
But John, he did say family.
What's real is family.
I'm just gonna
I
say
think
this
Reed-
about Reed
I
Richards.
think Reed
I'm
will be
just
fine.
gonna say this. Hold on. I'm gonna say one thing.
I
I'll
know
be
what-
gross for
I
a
know
second.
what
I'll be gross.
I
I'm
know
gonna be
what you're
gross for
gonna
a second.
say.
Here's
All right,
the thing.
go ahead.
Poor Reed Richards. I'm a woman. If I'm a woman, and who would I rather be with? Okay, this weird fucking Atlantean motherfucker. I know in the movies they change it to more of like a Mayan Aztec kind of thing.
Talokan Mayan,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, fine, whatever. I'm gonna be with this kind of hunky guy, all right, or the guy that can literally make his schlong like 20 inches and like 10 inches thick. Who am I picking? Yeah, no poor Reed Richards. Sue Storm loves Reed Richards, even though Reed Richards is a piece of shit. Who am I sticking with? The guy who can make his dick grow to unimaginable levels, or some fucking random Atlantean guy? Really? Are we really gonna have this conversation? Are we really having this conversation? Like, come on, bro. Come on. Like, I love how, oh, Sue Storm's going with Namor because he's so much more charismatic. Reed can grow his cock. Are we having this conversation? Like, no. No. We're not. We're not. So everyone needs to shut the fuck up about all these goddamn Namor memes. Maybe Namor is better personality-wise, because Reed Richards is infamously a gigantic sack of shit. Like, we know. We know. Reed Richards sucks. But at the same time, he can grow his dick. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Owner. Get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
get out of here.
Yeah.
We're not having this fucking conversation. The memes are done. The memes are done. Okay? We got it. I get, oh, Namor. No. Reed can grow his dick. End of discussion. End of discussion. We're not
John's
talking
using
about it
the
anymore.
Yeah. All right. Yep. Well, I just like that he kind of talked about, like, basically because like Sue Storm is basically like the diplomat of the planet,
Right.
her
Like the
universe.
Future Foundation
and,
stuff. Yeah.
and like she kind of negotiates, I guess, some sort of a temporary peace because apparently the Talokans and Wakandans are at each
Namor,
other's
Paul
throats
is
again.
a guy. Come on.
So which is great. I mean, it makes sense that, you know, and then she would vibe with like Shuri and stuff, and then you got Namor, like she managed to convince Namor to, you know, I guess look past his ego and self-righteousness, which is exactly what Sue Storm is known for doing. So she did it with like Mole Man, apparently, you know, it was a big deal.
Mole Man should have been the fucking villain for that goddamn movie. I'm just saying. Paul Walter Hauser in his like 2 seconds of screen time was better than most of that movie. Like
he pulled out more personality from Reed Richards in that one scene than the entire rest of the movie.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
But anyway, let's keep
going.
There's
Let's
more.
move on. But
John,
speaking of Black Panther 3 figure drawing, Kevin Feige says David Johnson was cast as T'Challa Jr. 6 months ago after a secret meeting. So that's cool.
Yeah, because Ryan Coogler like was in charge of making. Anyway, go ahead. He kind of
I'll give you the real scoop. We hadn't started a search yet. Ryan was working on Sinners, and when Ryan works on a project, he's all in. So the presumption very much was we would sit with him after Sinners came out, after the Academy campaign. We were waiting till after the Academy Awards to sit with Ryan and begin that process. All right, respect to Kevin Feige for that one. A month and a half or so before that process, he called me and said, I found him. I said, what do you mean? I found him. He's this guy, David Johnson. He mentioned his movies. I had seen some of them. I watched more. He goes, I'm going to meet him. He had a secret meeting with him under the cloak of darkness, but in a hotel somewhere, and called me afterwards and said, he's the guy. He's the guy. I felt it. I felt it in my soul. He's a good man, and he is the next Black Panther. And I got chills, and I got a little welled up and said, let's do it. So we've been sitting on this secret for a good 5 or 6 months. I like how he said 5 or 6, not 6.
Yeah.
But like honestly, I believe it. David Johnson, like this dude, like I still need to watch Wakanda Forever because I know that's not nearly a lot of people say that's not nearly as good as the first one, and fine, whatever. I'm curious about that, but like if like there was anyone on planet Earth that could take that role, first off, it was Winston Duke, because Winston Duke, as you know. Are you done? Anyway, but he would have been a great temporary. He would have been a great temporary replacement, kind of like what Shuri became in the second movie, and that's fine. Yeah. But like, if I could see anybody as the next Black Panther, it would have been David Johnson. Like, I'm pretty sure I had him in the fan casting, if I remember correctly.
I mean, I know a lot of people wanted Damson Idris, but Damson Idris is gonna be in that other franchise,
Children of Blood and Bone, right? Something like that.
He's gonna be a big part of that. So I mean, he's gonna be fine.
You know, it's just like this dude. Like when I heard that, I'm like, oh, that's perfect casting. Because the thing is, like, I haven't seen Alien Romulus, so I don't know how good he is in that. I'm sure he's excellent in that. But like I've just seen him in The Long Walk. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. And just the way he is in that movie is just like, and Francis Lawrence is a great director, so maybe it was a director thing, maybe it was him, but I don't know. It was just a good combination. But the fact, not only that, okay, so like, boom, we have a good combination. No. I know he's not. He's playing T'Challa Jr. I know that he's playing.
He's the son of T'Challa.
I'm just saying, like,
also named
the
T'Challa.
Next Black Panther, like in addition to. That's what I mean. Like I know he's not like replacing him.
Like,
he's in addition to.
Basically, Shuri's going from being the sister of the would-be Black Panther to like the aunt of the to-be Black Panther. So
because like, so that's a good combination. So like, Francis Lawrence, great director. He's been doing so much. Long Walk was fucking amazing. Like, guys, if you have not seen The Long Walk, you have to watch The Long Walk. It's so fucking good. Like, I was a little iffy on that because Frank Darabont wanted to do it for a long time, and then he lost the rights and couldn't do it. And then I'm like, all right, we'll see with Francis Lawrence. If Francis Lawrence peak, absolutely. So imagine that Francis Lawrence and him. Great combination. He acted as great in that movie, and he was directed great. Now, fucking imagine fucking him and fucking Ryan motherfucking Coogler, one of the greatest directors working today. Like, don't get me wrong, Francis Lawrence, great director. But fucking Ryan Coogler, bro, that's another level. So I can't fucking imagine how fucking great he is going to be in Black Panther 3. Like, I would watch Black Panther 3 without even seeing Black Panther 2. Like, just for David Johnson. Like, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm more hyped for Black Panther 3 than I am about Ghost Rider. like, because one, Ryan Coogler is still directing it, and even though I have problems with the first movie, it's still a good movie. Like, it's perfectly fine. It just, I think it's a little overrated. But like, this is this has a chance to be better than the first two Black Panther movies. Like, I would say that. I would say that, like, I'm sure, like, the rest of the story, like, you know, whoever Denzel's playing, whoever all these other people playing, they're all gonna do a great job. I bet the story is gonna be really cool, all that stuff. But like, I feel like David Johnson is gonna bring that to another level because, you know, I think. Well, I can't judge it without seeing it, right? Figure drawing. You're the guy that's yelling at me that I can't judge Sean Levy directing Ghost Rider because I didn't see Deadpool Wolverine. I can't judge Wakanda Forever without seeing it now, can I? So I'll watch it. We'll see, you know. But yeah, I just damn, it's just like this is gonna be a very good movie. I like. This is the chance to be like maybe even on level with the first one. And usually threequels are not very good. They're usually the weakest one of the pack. So like Ryan Coogler has more to prove with that as well. And not always. You know, you got your Return of the Kings, you got your Return of the Jedis, you got your Vengeance of the Siths and all that stuff. So
yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't think this is a rule of thumb, but yes, obviously this is one of the premier flagship franchises Marvel has, and I think a lot of people wanted some clarity on who is going to be Black Panther movie, because like I think the moment they introduced the son of T'Challa, who was also
hopefully
named
they don't
T'Challa,
fuck it up,
and you know, Wakanda Forever, there was always this idea that eventually this kid is going to get aged up. It's just a matter of how long they take, and I think the time mechanics of it is one thing, but he's got to be, I mean, you know, however old David Johnson looks, the youngest he can probably play is in his 20s. So yeah, I think David Johnson being, you know, our next Black Panther would be great. I think it'd be just fine. One of you guys in the chat were saying he's not tall enough. I mean, he's 5'9". That's plenty tall. I mean, that's, you know, above average height in America, and he doesn't look that big next to Winston Duke because Winston Duke is huge. But like, I mean, Christian Bale is like 5'9". I'm pretty sure Tom Cruise is around that height. It's like you go to Bollywood, like Shah Rukh Khan is around that height. Like some of the biggest movie stars in the world aren't, you know, any taller than David Johnson. And yes, Chadwick Boseman was 6 feet tall, but I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Like, you can cheat that stuff all the time in movies. Your fake 915, he's going to be from another dimension. You're like, no, he's not. He's not. He's the son of T'Challa who they're going to age up, because Ryan Coogler said at San Diego Comic-Con in Hall H that he's, you know, our T'Challa, you know, the son of T'Challa is all grown up. So it is the same character they introduce in Wakanda Forever toward the end of the movie. So yeah, Shuri is going to become the aunt of, I guess, the would-be Black Panther, maybe when she passes them on the baton. Now, the one thing is, they never really said that he is Black Panther. They kind of implied that, but I'd imagine that at the start of the movie, he's probably not Black Panther. It's probably still Shuri. So I hope it's not like, oh, Shuri died, therefore I had to take on the mantle. I hope it's more like maybe they do a passing of the baton. That would be better for me, because I think Shuri is a very interesting character that should stick around in the MCU. As far as who is playing, you know, who Denzel Washington is playing, I don't know who Denzel is playing. We thought Denzel was going to show up at Hall H. That didn't happen. So, and I don't think he's going to have a huge role in the movie necessarily, but we'll find out now that they have a release date, December 15, 2028. I have a feeling within the next 6 months to a year, certainly, you know, once we're past Doomsday and we're in that gap period, because next year Black Panther will be filming, next year Ghost Rider will be filming if they're going to make their 2028 release date. So we'll find out sooner than later. I don't think there'll be 2 Black Panthers. I think it's either like Shuri either gets killed off or retires and passes on the baton.
Or we're gonna have 2 Black Panthers. That would be cool.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, but honestly, but I don't know if they're gonna do that, because that'd be even more confusing. But MTG, to your point, I think the original Black Panther 2 was a lot about fatherhood, because they were gonna introduce the son of T'Challa and then how T'Challa gets along with him. But given that he's just grown up now, I don't know. You can't really do that. I mean, and you can't really do the whole, you know, Mufasa in the clouds thing because Chadwick Boseman is not around anymore. So you can't really do like the Simba Mufasa.
And they're not
thing.
gonna like fucking AI him. Like I know Disney isn't above that, but I don't think they're gonna do that because they're gonna get a lot of hate for that if they do that. So
yeah. I mean, yeah, and the MCU has always had some big legends. I think Denzel will just be the latest of, you know, many Anthony Hopkins, Robert Redford, the late Robert Redford, Michael Douglas. I know Hunter Iggy, we all wanted Damson, but like, I think David Johnson.
But like the thing is like
great,
there's
underrated.
multiple great actors, and I think David Johnson can be just as good, if not better, than Damon Idris. So
yeah. Yeah, and I think the first Black Panther was one of the most important superhero movies of the last couple of decades too. And I look, I'm just glad that with this casting, they're looking forward and they're moving forward with the franchise, because Wakanda Forever very much felt like a movie that was just ruminating on what had happened in a very meta way, because it just, you know, they killed the character off screen in the MCU as a result of Chadwick Boseman passing away in real life. But it's one of those things where like it's hard to put, like, it's very rare that you see the first movie of a superhero franchise and the second movie the character died off screen, and then the third movie is gonna, like, it's just, it really threw, like, I think that's why the decision was a little it was very confusing. I understand the emotional reason why they did what they did, but I'm glad here that they're, you know, kind of saying, okay, so for the long run, David Johnson is somebody who's in his young 30s. This guy can like take this role and move it forward, right? So yeah, I mean, he's 32, like he can take this role and he can be T'Challa for like a long time. T'Challa, son of T'Challa. So yeah. But yeah, let's keep going, John. We got a lot more to get into, and I hope that we will get more information about Black Panther 3 sooner than later. But yeah.
But they are also asking what impact does D23 have on Marvel Studios? So Comic-Con announcements. So
we don't need to read this article. Let me just TLDR it for you, because okay, so you can stay in the headline. Basically,
look at Kevin Feige's dope ass face. Dopey ass face.
He was wearing a Doom Avengers shirt at Comic-Con. It's like free advertising, you know, surface, because when he goes out to a fancy dinner, he will take a hat off, but otherwise he's advertising the movies. True producer, you know, Hollywood producer. But we can do a Damson Idris fan casting, Hunter, but like not today. I will say though, basically D23 is a biannual event, which means it happens every other year. This year is one of those years. It's actually happening in about 3 weeks time. It happens in Anaheim. They do it in a big, you know, in an arena, I think, where the Anaheim, you know, Ducks or whatever the NHL team is out there that plays in that same arena. So they've, you know, like San Diego Comic-Con Hall H fits 7,000 people. That arena fits like 20,000 people. So like they can fit in a lot more people. It's a bigger event. Like I said, they do it every other year. It's all about everything Disney, but Marvel usually does a lot of stuff there. Now what they've done in the years past is they've kind of used Comic-Con Hall H, which is still like their ground zero for the biggest announcements, and D23 is kind of complementary to each other. So they'll make the big announcements at Hall H, and then they'll supplement them with more details at D23. Other times what they've done is they'll do the big movie stuff and the really big top tier A level stuff at Hall H, and then they'll do like the TV stuff, Disney Plus stuff, and smaller stuff at D23. Now at this year's Comic-Con, Kevin Feige came out, and the first thing he said, he's like, "Look, guys, I think you're really excited for what we're doing in Vision Quest, and we love Men 97 that's coming out with new season, Spider-Man." But then he was like, but we're going to be focusing today on mostly all the movies. So he specifically said, we're talking about the movies, which means for me, like there's still Vision Quest on the horizon. X-Men 97 season 3 is already greenlit. Season 2 is currently on air. The new season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man is on the way. They've got a bunch of stuff, including maybe what's going to be coming down the road. Wonder Man season 2, anything more than just the fact that it's being made. All of those announcements are what I expect D23 to be about. So especially like if they decide to do another season of that Wakanda show, the animated show on Disney Plus, which I saw, it was actually kind of cool. I saw the first couple episodes recently. And yeah, so I think their Hall H was good. A little underwhelming for some people because people expect the world. We didn't get an X-Men announcement. Now
yeah,
I'm gonna say,
my friend was like going on, oh, there's no X-Men. I'm like, fuck off. Who gives a shit?
Like, I'm gonna say the biggest thing they can do at D23 is give us that X-Men announcement. Like, because like here's the thing, John. There are 2 movies for 3 release dates in 2028 that Marvel has now. December 15th is for Black Panther 3, and then there's a date in July and there's a date in May, July 28th and May 5th. Ghost Rider, they specifically said 2028 but didn't give it a date. like outside of the fact that it's coming out in 2028. Now, whichever of those two dates, May or July, that Ghost Rider takes on, there is that one other date, and we all expect that to be X-Men. So I would imagine that D23 is going to be where they give us any, if at all, announcements about X-Men this year. I think they're also holding it back because if you do an X-Men announcement and if Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey, you do not give away that secret after you've been holding it back for months, just a few days before the movie comes out. So D23, however, will be a couple of weeks after the movie comes out. So I would expect that to make more sense if you're going to announce the X-Men lineup and includes Jean Grey played by Sadie Sink, that they would do it at D23. And then I would expect the TV show updates, like give us the first trailer for Vision Quest, give us more details about the next season of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, whatever else you got, like Daredevil Born Again season 3. The photos are everywhere. They just finished production. You can give us our first teaser to that as well. So you can bring out the Defenders cast, like you can bring out all of those people. That I think is what D23 is going to be, which I think would be just as, you know, fun as what we obviously got here at Hall H, especially for the TV side of things. So that's what I'm saying is complementary. And I don't think it's a matter of the health stuff back at Hall H. We could talk about it for a moment, John. When I did the live show over the weekend, Hall H was running behind time all day. By the time they got to the Marvel panel, they were running 30 minutes behind because the previous panel started 30 minutes late. And then after Marvel's panel, which was at 5:30, which started at 6 o'clock, there was another panel with Kevin Smith at 7:15. So there was like a feeling almost like they wanted to do more, but they had to kind of truncate some elements because they brought out this whole cast of Avengers Doomsday. Not everybody, but like pretty much 8 out of 10 people, which is it's not exact, but like, let's say 18 out of the 20 people on stage didn't get a chance to speak outside of Kevin Feige, Robert Downey Jr., one slight answer by Pedro Pascal, and then, Paul Rudd answering Ryan Reynolds' questions. None of the other people talked. Like, they announced Haley Atwell's back as Peggy Carter. She didn't, and they had microphones in all those people's hands. And they're just like, Anthony Mackie and then Simu Liu stood up there, had nothing to say. David Harbour, Hannah John Common, why am I forgetting? Rebecca Romaine. They had Kelsey Grammer. All of these guys that, what's his, Bill Pullman's son, Lewis Pullman. He was there. Like all of these guys and gals had nothing to say because I think they were short on time because the time had to get truncated because the next panel was the last one of the night. And so you can only go so long. So I do think like we didn't miss anything big. It's not like they held anything back because, they were running short on time. I just think that, they maybe shortened up some pieces and then some of what we were missing, hopefully we'll get at D23, but that's the long short of it. So I don't think we have to worry about D23 affecting Hall H. I think they're complementary to each other.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, nice. Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Godspeed, Spider-Man.
God, we gotta stop clicking the same thing at the same time. Anyway, let's talk about Spider-Man.
But apparently, spoiler scenes, our favorite type of scenes, censored in India. A new poster released. Variety has learned that a romantic kissing scene has been removed, along with audio and subtitle sanitization, muting and removing various strong words and objectionable language across the film's English soundtrack and subtitle tracks. Censors instructed the inclusion of a static anti-liquor health warning message superimposed on screen during scenes showing alcohol consumption. Man.
Okay. So the alcohol consumption thing is normal because they do that with every movie, but like the kissing stuff, I'm like, what the hell, India? Like, you guys are in the 21st century. There's kissing in Indian movies now. So I don't understand what's so...
Man, they must be going sloppy with it if they're censoring it.
It's a Spider-Man movie. I can't imagine we're gonna get a lot of tongue in any kind of kissing.
Tonsil hockey must be fucking insane.
It's just like I don't know, like whatever the case might be.
No, I'm gonna take a bet that it's just like that's how Spidey defeats Hulk in the movie. They just start furiously making out, and that's why it's here because it's a weird radioactive monster. It's like, all right.
I mean, same-sex kissing in a mainstream Indian movie, I suppose, is still a little taboo to a certain degree. But anyway, it's not that there's anything wrong with that. I don't think this is gonna affect the movie much. People are gonna see it. People are gonna see the other stuff elsewhere. Like, Indian audiences know how to access all this stuff.
Brand new day casting rumor may confirm major spoiler as the movie eyes $800 million opening. Cryptic 4K Qual is reporting that Olivia Booth Ford will play Jean Grey's sister in the film, named Sarah in the comic. She's a regular human without mutant abilities. This comes amid rumors that DODC will force Jean to work for them by kidnapping Sarah. The insider also revealed that they're unsure whether JC Sink, Sadie's little sister, who played younger versions of her characters in Stranger Things and The Whale, is in Spider-Man Brand New Day. That is the rumor, though, suggesting we'll see Jean as a child. Billy Clements, who played the Russian, is also said to be a lock for the movie, likely playing Ramrod. So it seems like it's,
Yeah, there are rumors that maybe Sadie Sink, not probably gonna stick her tongue down Tom Holland's throat, but I can't imagine like Tom Holland's Peter Parker getting it on with Jean Grey unless something horribly goes off course from what the trailers have suggested. But but anyway, no, come on. I think we'll be fine. Like it's India. Like there's, I don't understand. Like India usually doesn't do this. I'm like, they did say it's like 8 or 9 minutes, but I'm like, what? Like, is there like a full blown love scene in the middle of a Spider-Man movie? Are we gonna get
Tommy Boy clapping
again?
cheeks?
It's
they're just gonna go full R-rated,
so...
just like full on. We see Tom Dong, and it's just like, damn. Who let a garden snake into this movie? Holy shit. Anyway.
What the fuck? Garden snake. What's that song from Top Gun that they play in the left? You just put the record on.
Yeah. Anyway.
Let's move on.
Speaking of records, the whole thing with Ryan Reynolds sneaking into Comic-Con as Deadpool with no handlers and no security. I felt so lucky.
He kind of had handlers, but they were sort of like keeping their distance. The fact that he was wearing this black and white or black and gray suit, I think, was what made it hard for people to kind of catch him. And then, but he did stop by and meet a few fans, and those fans, you recognize him once you hear the voice behind the mask, right? So it's kind of cool. I liked it. I mean, he obviously keeps himself in great shape. So, and he popped up like in Hall H. We will talk about that. I mean, and he asked the question to Paul Rudd. He's like, why was Thor crying? And he's like, Rudd, you know exactly why Thor was crying. Wait, go up. The question is right there in the tweet. It's no, if you go up a bit there in the description, because there's no subtitles to this. We can't hear what you can hear, John. It's
I don't know, man.
It's because of Wrexham, he said. I don't know. Are you listening to this right now?
Yeah, I'm listening to it. I was curious. Okay. So now you have to force me to watch listening to it. There we go. He wore a gray jean colored outfit. Yes, he did. That's what everybody's going crazy, because I was like, I didn't see this, so I was like, all right, I'll listen to it. So you just have to listen to me for like 10 seconds where you can't hear nothing.
I don't understand the whole gray jean outfit thing. What?
Because somebody took like a drop tool, and like apparently the name of the color is like gray jean or something like that. So people are thinking,
that's some like deep cut shit. I don't think that's true, but
I don't know. I don't know.
What was the question that he asked? He asked, there was two things. He was asking about, like, why was Thor crying? And, like Paul Rudd was like, cause he likes Wrexham, which, I mean,
I don't know what that means. So
Wrexham, which is a team that Ryan Reynolds owns, that team basically was getting promoted in the English football pyramid. So, in England you have multiple tiers. They kept they kept getting promoted every season. And this past season it was the first season in like 3 years that didn't get promoted to the Premier League. So it's meant to be a diss that, Wrexham, they were supposed to be these big dogs, and then they finally actually couldn't get up to the Premier League. So, which is again,
gotcha.
I mean, it's kind of like a deep cut, I guess, suppose. But yeah, they play in the Championship in the UK, which is like the second tier of football.
Gotcha. Anyway, apparently the Comic-Con trailer for Doomsday leaked online, and it's Apparently
Yeah, so
breathtakingly epic, and not like we can see it because,
yeah.
fucking Marvel's taking that shit
By the way,
down.
just for a moment, I did download the clip. We're not gonna play it because we don't want to get sued and whatnot.
Yeah, we already learned
And
our
I
lesson
had
with
the show
Batgirl.
taken down. But I will say this though. I will say this. Deadpool did ask like, "Hey, it's a lot of money to like launch a new movie. Are you starting filming anytime soon?" And it was almost like it's like, bro, we already wrapped up. But anyway, like maybe they're trying to like hint that Deadpool is indeed in the movie, which would be a confirmation of rumors for a long time. Also, we do have we have the description, John, for the trailer? Because we could talk about that. I will say the trailer they showed at SDCC is a lot better than the one that we got a week ago, and it's very similar to the leaked description we talked about a week ago. Like it starts with a shot of Victor on his throne, and then John, if you want to just read us through the Sue
Yeah.
Storm kind of narrates a lot of it.
Victor was always the smartest guy in the room. He used to be different. He used to be kind. He used to be caring. Everything he loved was taken from him. I knew he was lost, but I did not realize that he was broken. All right, come on, man. All of you have lived stolen lives, and now you must give them back, he says. And then I swear you will beg for hell long before I grant it. Hell answers to me, for I am doomed.
That was Thor, and then Thor gets plucked aside in that scene we have seen with the Stormbreaker, and then
yeah,
RDJ. The line sounds
honestly
cheesy,
that's a cool line. Not gonna lie.
Also, this trailer goes to show you that Reed Richards and Victor Von Doom have a history, and so you do get more of that because Reed Richards seemingly got sidelined in the first trailer. This one, they're much more at the center of the trailer. So now the reports are, John, that this trailer, while it obviously was, Kevin Feige said in interviews after, was gonna be Hall H specific for a while, it does seem to be the case. If you go to the next link, there's reporting right now that new trailer for Avengers Doomsday will be attached to Spider-Man Brand New Day showings worldwide. So in just a few days' time, you can go watch Spider-Man Brand New Day, and you will get to watch that trailer that San Diego Comic-Con got to see with what we just talked about. And so, unless you caught a glimpse of the leaked trailer, which leaked like from 5 different people, probably more. So I'm sure a lot of people already have seen it, but like if you want to see the high definition version of it, it's going to be playing in front of Spider-Man Brand New Day. And then apparently, according to Global Box Office, Sony and Disney have rebuilt their relationship, agreeing to closer cooperation for their Marvel films. Beyond the Spider-Verse trailer should be attached to Doomsday. That's news. Okay, so the Beyond the Spider-Verse trailer will be in front of Doomsday. So maybe that means that they also might be doing Miles Morales sooner than we realize, if they are, agreeing to closer cooperation. So
very cool.
Yeah, very cool indeed. Let's keep going.
Kevin Feige confirms that there will be no film releasing between Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Yes.
Yeah, it's part of the same Empire Online interview we just talked about before, when he was talking about Blade and stuff. Or rather, well, he was talking about Ghost Rider and such. So yeah.
Yep.
There is no secret movie coming out next year.
Nope, just Secret Wars.
Now,
apparently Hall H opened with a montage of the entire MCU and the Fox X-Men films, and Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And then Herbie was part of it too, so that's cool, I guess. I don't know. Anyway. You're muted, Dan. Or am I muted? I can't hear you. Hold on. Oh, okay. He had to leave. All right, so we're moving on now. We have some more Comic-Con talk.
I'm back. Sorry, it was me. It's my bad. That was my fault.
You didn't miss anything. We're just going to Comic-Con and
Spaceballs. No. I was just, John, real quick though, that description that they showed a montage before everything else, and that included all the X-Men that we're gonna see in the new movie, but it also specifically included Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. So people are taking that as a hint that Tobey Maguire is in Doomsday, because they're kind of, again, giving us clues. So anyway.
But Spaceballs, the new one, mocks Marvel and Star Wars with fake multi-phase cinematic universe at San Diego Comic-Con, which was fucking phenomenal. And really great. I went through the whole thing. Yeah, it's
It was wonderful. One of the best presentations of because Kevin Smith was like the guy who was running the show, and they bring out the whole cast, and then Rick Moranis got a special introduction. Let's just play the video. We have the Rick Moranis. We have the whole thing. Let's just.
Maybe you know what we should do? We have to comb the audience.
Yes. Good idea. Great idea. Yes. Good idea. All right, here we go.
There it is. There, they're combing. I see it. Over here.
Oh, maybe over there. Wait, who's that?
Yeah. Try him. We have somebody?
Yeah, I think so.
There it is. Lift your helmet. Lift your helmet. Come on. No, he ain't Canadian enough.
Behind, right there. Try that guy. Oh, yeah, that.
Lift your helmet. Lift your helmet. No, that's too tall to be Rick Moranis.
He wishes.
Wait. Find another one.
Oh, there's one over here.
Where?
That guy. Try that guy.
Oh, try that guy. Hey, lift your helmet, man.
Okay. Anyway, we'll go back to the rest of the clip later, but yes. So, I mean, he got a standing ovation from the whole crowd.
They're like, Rick. Yeah, it was great. It was really nice to see. Rick Moranis deserves it 100%.
Yeah. I mean, but not only that, John. He definitely he was asked about, like, you came back. Like, I'm gonna play the clip here again. Kevin Smith was like, you came back, and Rick Moranis was like, you know, I've been negotiating since I didn't retire. I've just been negotiating since 1989 because Mel Brooks kept calling me to, like, make a sequel every time they put out a new Star Wars movie. And I was like, this is hilarious. It just, I mean, Mel Brooks obviously wasn't there, but, like, yeah.
And, like,
you came back, man.
Well, the truth is that I had to say yes to this thing. It was the only way I could get Josh Gad to stop texting me. Actually, I started talking to Mel about a sequel in 1989, and we kept talking about it. I really wasn't retired. I was just negotiating. Plays hardball. But no, this came along right at the right time, and I started talking to these folks and hearing who was going to be in it. And I spoke to Josh Greenbaum, and I heard that Bill Pullman was coming back, and that Lewis was going to be in it too. And it just felt like this is it. It's time, and yes, I said yes, and it is the best decision I've ever made. It was it's like family for me.
it's safe to say all of us have missed you, Keymaster, so thank you for coming back.
Yeah, so, and John, of course, before the panel, because, like, you see Kiki Palmer there and stuff, they had a lot of good questions throughout the panel, but then before they ended things, obviously you have this, we're going to go through this in a second, but they did the perfect introduction to the new, you know, Spaceball cinematic
the
universe.
The almighty Schwartz saga, also known as Ass.
Which is part of a bigger saga that's known as the Ass.
Nothing is canon. Everything is canon. That's
canon.
So we got Phase
Spaceballs even further than just these two movies.
Yeah, it's such a great question, Kevin. Thanks for asking. And one we were hoping you would ask.
I mean, we're actually very excited right here in Hall H, you know, to announce that this is just the beginning of our plans for a Spaceballs cinematic universe. Hall H. And you know, Hall H is not just reveal one, but that's just phase one. We got phase two. We got phase three is coming up, and this is all part of a three-phase saga that we call the Almighty Schwartz saga. Ass.
Yes.
But this ass is just part of a bigger cinematic universe. The
asshole. Yeah, take a look over there.
And it starts with there. We have a lot of ideas.
Really follow
We have enough content until 2148, and we're very excited.
Over here, and at the end, you'll see there's a required viewing order. This is not the order that you should watch.
Take a picture of that so you watch it in the right order.
Yeah. And you might think, have they stretched this asshole too far?
And the bottom line is, we're going to keep this asshole nice and tight. And even though we're going to stretch the asshole a bit wide over the course of the next couple of years, at the end of the day, it's all about the art.
That's right. So give it up for our asshole.
So a lot of Spaceballs coming your way.
Okay.
Yeah. So in case you missed it, we have the phase 1, which is Spaceballs: The Schwartz Awakens, and then Spaceballs: The Franchise Menace, Winnebago Nights, and Super Duper Secret Wars.
Wait, hold
then
on.
Phase 2 is the Dark Helmet Saga.
Wait, hold on. Sorry, I got a lost cat in the way.
We got Dark Helmet Origins, Dark Helmet Origins 2, Dark Helmet Origins 3, and then Dark Helmet Origins Origins. Perfect. So then we got Phase 3, Yogurt Schwartz and all, Mog, the Last Dog Standing, Heroes of Druidia, Rogue something, I can't read it, hang on, Rogue Dumbs, and Spaceballs for kids. Then on top of the fact, you forget Spaceballs did have an animated series. So during this time, we have Spaceballs, the animated series, to Spaceballs, the animated series reboot, to the live action version of the animated series, and then the animated series, the musical. And then Phase 4, possibly, we lost count. Spaceballs versus Spaceballs, Spaceballs versus Spaceball versus Spaceballs, Spaceballs, Enough is Enough, and Spaceballs, Enough is Never Enough. Then we have Phase 5, maybe 7. We have Spaceballs the musical, then Pizza the Hut, Cheesy Does It, Lone Star, The Twilight Years, Two Space, Two Balls, Vespa, Schwartzatar, Just Begging for a Lawsuit, and then Colonel Sanders, I can't even read the bottom part, and then Dot Matrix, A Droid Hope, perfect. And then you have Phase 6, Spaceballs, the cookbook, the lunchbox, the coloring book, the fragrance, smells like Lone Star, the board game, the NFT collection, the lawsuit, the apology, the retraction of the apology for the retraction, and earnings call 2. Then we got Phase 7, which is Spaceballs the Musical, Spaceballs the Musical Live, the Real Live Tour, the Reeler Live Tour, the Cruise, the Karaoke Experience, and the album. And then we have the podcast, the audiobook of the podcast, hang on, the subtitles, the question mark, the ride again, the ride documentary, the question mark again, the exit through the gift shop, and the ride docs, the docu-mockumentary on the podcast. And then we have Spaceballs, the VR experience, the next game, the Snyder Cut. I know Caleb was very excited about that one. The IMAX cut, the fan films, the video game, the mascot, the kids cut, the reboot again with commentary. So guys, we're ready. We're ready for all, and there's even more. There's like 11 phases.
Yeah, Phase 9. There's Phase
we gotta
10.
bring up the Mobius strip, the sequel, the remake, the prequel, the reboot, the reboot of the remake of the prequel, and the prequel of the remake. And then we got Phase 11. This is fine. We got the college years, the will, toddlers, preschool, babies, the life insurance, therapy sessions, the art of war, previously on Spaceballs again, the tuition plan, the college fund, the senior years, the authorized timeline, the family reunion, the retirement home, the revised authorized timeline, and the timeline explained. And we have the required viewing order of Phase 6, 8, 3, 11, 2, 4, 7, 9, 1, 5, and then finally 10. And then, so it goes, we have Spaceballs Jetpack, Spaceballs the sequel to the prequel to the sequel, Spaceballs Tokyo Drift, The Space and the Balls, Spaceballs Endgame, Spaceballs After Endgame, Spaceballs Endgame Explained, Spaceballs on Ice, and finally Baby Spaceballs, Old Spaceballs, Young Old Spaceballs. Are you caught up? I could go again. Like, it's I know it's a lot, but like, we can go again.
It's all part of the almighty Schwartz saga, John, the asshole.
Yeah,
nothing is canon. Everything is canon. That's canon. Yeah, we're gonna stretch it a little bit. We're gonna stretch the asshole a little bit, but we're gonna keep it tight. Yeah, it's
100%.
This is great. This is like Caleb was saying, satire done right. Spaceball Tokyo Drift. Can't wait. You know, I can't wait to see
that.
some,
Apparently, Christopher Nolan's favorite
Tokyo.
Fast and Furious film is Tokyo Drift. I
John
mean,
could
I
be a good
watch enough
person.
baseball to like, you know, I do love, you know, Keith Hernandez, Ron Darling, and Gary doing their announcing for the Mets. So, you know, I know quite a bit. I can't do like the betting $1, $2. I can't do that. I definitely can't do that. My voice is definitely not fast for that, but I can maybe be a sports announcer.
Cool. Well, you know what? Hey, John, the Spaceballs panel was one of the most fun, best panels of the weekend, delivered on all the goods. It was like the natural, like, next version of like that end credit scene from 23 Jump Street or 22 Jump Street. It was the asshole saga. I'm like, we need this to be like a montage, like, you know, like Janko, like that's what it is. That's what I said. Anyway, so I feel like they made this joke just for the life. Probably, Brian, and we appreciate that from the asshole saga. The people that brought you the asshole saga. Thank you for all your hard work. But John, we did get a lot of other trailers from San Diego Comic-Con over the weekend, including a couple that I think you probably really looking forward to.
Yeah,
so let's go through those real quick.
Got Reacher season 4 and then the spinoff nobody gives a flying fuck about that will get canceled after one season.
I will say, dude, like that Reacher trailer like completely walked all over the Neely trailer, even though Reacher makes a cameo in that season. I'm just like, it's like they're doing it back to back. They're kind of pairing up the shows so that one kind of plays into the other. But I'm like, traditionally on broadcast or like cable television, you could have one show lead into the other. On streaming, there's no, you know, I mean, you can suggest it as the next thing once your episode finishes playing, but there is no natural incentive to do that. I mean, unless you love everything Reacher, so you'll take as much of it as you can. But I watched the Reacher trailer. I was thoroughly impressed. It looks a lot of fun. Made me laugh a few times. It's like Reacher at his peak and prime, and I think it's book number 20 from a Lee Child that they're adapting. And then the Neely trailer, on the other hand, just felt like a very dry compared to Reacher, and that's saying something because Reacher isn't a character that you know is particularly like, you know, like full of pizzazz. He's got like the dry humor going. So like Neely, like to me, I don't know, like the trailer didn't convince me. I need to watch the show to actually care for it. And regardless of whether, you know, I mean, they're gonna have Jack Reacher cameo in there, like Anne Richardson's gonna be in there, but I hope it doesn't become like the next Ballerina. But I mean, they are apparently working on a Neely book, so they are committed to this thing, John. So it's not like this is like a one and done. What did you think about these two trailers?
I thought the Reacher trailer was pretty good. Neely, I didn't even bother. Honestly, I don't even fucking care. Nothing against her. She's a good,
like a significant
here's
downgrade.
Like, there is only one show in the history of existence where it was a spin-off that was better than the original show and was phenomenal in its own right, and that's Better Call Saul. Nobody will ever do that level ever again, especially not fucking Neely. Like, don't get me wrong, she's good, she's fun, I like her, good badass character, but not every supporting character needs their own spin-off, and I don't think she has the oomph to like make it like unique and interesting, because it'll just feel like a Reacher show, but with an entirely different character, maybe slightly different. Like, as I know, she's more like woman on the desk type of thing rather than like action hero kind of stuff. Even though she can still hold her own, it's but it's just like, you know, she's more like the support, and that works. It's not a bad thing. It's just, I don't know. It just feels weird to me. You know, I don't know. It's just, again, nothing against her, nothing against the actress. I just have no interest. Like, I like Jack Reacher. I like Neely in Jack Reacher. Get your mind out of the gutter. I just think that, you know, I just think that she's better as a sport character, and that's not inherently bad. It's like, because I know people are like, oh, you prefer what the black woman can't get her own show. The black woman can get her own show. It's just I'm not terribly interested in said show. Not because of anything. It doesn't look interesting to me.
I mean, to your fake's point, like, there are so many books. Like, this one, I think, is adapting the 20th book. Like, they're jumping around. They're not doing it sequentially. But, especially because they're, like, seasonal anthology, basically. So, Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a matter of like they need to do this now. I think it's just the Neely character has built up to the point where I think there's more than just the show, because Lee Child is working on a first Neely book because Neely doesn't have her own
I thought Lee
series of
Child was
books.
retiring from Jack Reacher.
Well, apparently, I mean, he's an executive producer on here, and he's working with a couple. I think he's working with a couple other writers. So there's a press release to talk about it. So the Neely book is going to go on sale around the time the show comes out. So I don't know if that means the Neely story in the book is going to be what we see in the show, or if it's like two different things. But like whatever the case is, they clearly are trying to expand the franchise. And I mean, look, here's the thing: I the trailer didn't impress me, but like there's still a chance that the show itself could be good. Like, you know, we have seen plenty of bad trailers for really good shows, or, you know, certainly an improvement on the trailer. So I am willing to give it a chance and see what it turns into. I just especially because like when you put it next to each other, it's like I just felt like the trailer that we got from Reacher, which you could tell that show is season 4, peak of its powers. It's hard to compare because I mean, season 1 Reacher was pretty good. That show kind of found its footing early, but you got to remember, we have talked about it many times before. A lot of shows usually take their time to find their footing, and we kind of live in this like very ruthless world right now where shows get canceled after 1 or 2 seasons. So I know Amazon's kind of shown a willingness to stick with something like Masters of the Universe because they've invested in it. So I think the fact that they're making a Neely book makes me believe that they're committed to doing more than 1 season here, even if the first season is a little lackluster. So I'm hoping it's better than the teaser trailer, but also you got to remember the Neely trailer was a teaser trailer and the Reacher trailer was the first official trailer because they already did a teaser. So again, kind of apples to oranges. So maybe the first official trailer for Neely will give us more of the story of the season. So, but anyway, you know, it's good. I'm glad we're talking about it because we didn't really get a chance to do much of that over the weekend because everything else Marvel DC related was happening. So yeah, well, let's keep going. There's more trailers to be had.
And then oh god, okay.
Hey John, they're making a Matchbox movie. Did you hear?
I know. I remember when it was announced. I'm like, why? And then I saw the trailer, and I'm like, honestly, you know what? Nothing I can say can equate it to a comment I saw beneath the video that I saw that it perfect way to encapsulate this movie. This feels like a Fast and Furious movie if it was a Nickelodeon movie. And honestly, I cannot think of a more accurate description for this stupid fucking idea for a movie.
I guess that's in line with the target audience of the Matchbox toys.
But
remember,
it's like,
this is a quick
what
hit when
can
they
you
announced
do with Matchbox? Like, the only thing that's Matchbox related about this is like, oh, these kids used to meet up and play Matchbox cards together, which is like, that's got to be one boring ass fucking friend group if all you're doing is playing with Matchbox cards. Like, first of all, Hot Wheels is superior. Second, it's like, bro, come on, get a fucking N64 or something. What are you doing?
By the way, I'm pretty sure they are making a Hot Wheels thing too, like whatever. But I remember we talked about there's a Hot Wheels movie coming somewhere soon, and then like you got Matchbox. It is John Cena, so you got that crossover potential.
Yeah, I know.
Fast
It's just
Saga,
like,
you know? So
it's just like.
By the way, dude, Jessica Biel is also in this movie. It's not just John Cena. Like they've got some other big heavy hitters, but sure. I mean, it's on Apple. I don't think they're putting it in theaters. We'll see.
It's just like it's mind-boggling. It's fucking mind-boggling that Apple TV can pump out some of the greatest fucking modern TV shows. Period. Severance, For All Mankind, The Morning Show, just like hit the Foundation, hit after hit after hit. Some of the greatest fucking TV you could possibly experience, and then they fucking make this shit. It's like, bro, what are you doing? You got fucking John Watts' Wolf's movie, which like apparently sucked, and then the only good movie they've done is like F1. Yet TV, they are fucking murdering the competition. Yet movies they can't figure out for whatever fucking reason.
It's like the Netflix problem, right? Like Netflix has had the same issue.
Netflix doesn't make anything good anymore. They don't make good movies or good shows. I don't know.
Like, who owns Matchbox? Whichever company, but it's Mattel or Hasbro,
it's Mattel.
Or whoever.
Because like they want to do the Mattel cinematic universe after Barbie was popular. Yeah. So like, oh yeah, this will be the fucking way to do it. Okay.
Yeah. It reminded me of like the Need for Speed movie, and not a good way, because it was like, like the Need for Speed ideally would have become a banger franchise, but the Fast and Furious already exists, so you can't really do much with Need for Speed. And
Well, because at least with the thing is with like Need for Speed or Forza or something like that, you could do like a really cool racing movie. Like
a sports
I think
movie,
Gran
yeah.
Turismo had like a really good idea where it was like, oh, it's like based on a true story about this kid who became this like real race car driver, inspired by Gran Turismo. I'm like, okay, that's a good kind of like how the Tetris movie isn't really about Tetris, it's about like how Tetris came to be. I'm like, okay, that's a neat idea. Like you can make like a
Which was an
Matchbox
Apple
movie about
movie,
how Matchbox
wasn't it?
became successful. Like that could have been a neat
Yeah.
idea, but like I don't know, it just like it's weird to me. This is such a weird. I love John Cena, but like I'll watch anything else with him. Like he's doing another movie I'm excited for. What? There was another
I'm trying to
movie he's
remember.
doing that I'm like, oh my
He's
god,
doing
this looks
Coyote
great.
versus
Oh,
Ac-
fucking Coyote versus
Coyote
Acting. I'll
versus
go watch
Acting, yeah.
that because that looks fucking
Yeah.
amazing, and John Cena looks fucking amazing in
The
it.
King's Court,
Like,
yeah.
I'll go see that. I'm not fucking watching this shit.
What did you tee? What did you tat?
What did you do? What did you talk?
I'm not paying you to tee. I'm not paying you to see. It's like whatever the fuck he said.
I'm not paying you to think you thought. I'm paying you to thought. What did you do? What did you thought? I'm excited for the Play-Doh movie. Bro.
Dude, in our lifetimes, I guarantee you that's gonna happen. But anyway, let's keep going, because like we go
Let's
from
keep
this
going. Maybe
to
okay,
Neuromancer.
now we're going from like Apple TV
Again,
garbage to Apple TV
exactly
cinema.
what you,
Like,
because it's a TV show.
amazing.
Because it's a TV series. It's not a movie, John. Neuromancer.
Yeah.
We've talked about set photos and stuff.
Well,
for this
it's
for
a
long
mini
time.
series for now. We'll see if it
Well,
like continues
sure.
on. But like considering that there's 3 in this in William Gibson's like Cyberpunk trilogy, I can imagine that if this does well, which I assume it will, that they're gonna get a season 2 and a season 3 that's based on books 2 and 3. So
Yeah, I'm excited
well,
for this.
considering
this
you know the Pong movie is coming, it's coming. So
it is coming. But this was great. Neuromancer, again, Apple TV, when they do TV, I guess it's in their name. So like, maybe if there was Apple movie, maybe they would do good movies. But Kalen Turner, man, he's the king of the world right now in like every other thing. Mark Strong in Dune Prophecy, and in this one, Brianna Middleton, who plays Molly. This looks great. I like the look of this, and Apple's record with Sci-Fi has been so good that I can't wait for this show. I just know it's gonna be good. So
I mean,
it was
I've
like
heard,
Dune, like
like-
unfilmable, but it's a here we go. And Foundation, unfilmable, but they did it. So it's like Apple knows how to crack the code.
fucking Lord of the Rings was unfilmable, and then Peter
Right.
Jackson did it. So
Yep.
here we go. But yeah, good trailer, looking good. I do like Callum Turner. So
Is it
I'm excited
like-
for this.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of like comparisons to Blade Runner in some respects.
Well,
because it's-
Neuromancer predated Blade Runner. Well,
because I know exactly, because it's like Star Wars, right? Like it's that thing of like one popularized
I'm
something
actually
that already kind of exists.
1984. I'm actually
Yeah.
Do
I mean, they were kind
Androids
of
Dream.
contemporary.
Actually, technically, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep predates Neuromancer. So technically, because Do Androids Dream of Electric Sleep, which is what Blade Runner was based on, that was released in 1968, and then this was 1984, post Blade Runner, post Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep.
Yeah.
So technically, you're not wrong, but I think it'll be different enough, because like you can make a lot of things. It's like, oh, it's like Blade Runner, but like if you do stuff different enough to make it work, then I think they'll make it work.
Yeah. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep is not only just the greatest title, but it's like,
I mean, Philip K. Dick was like a
Philosophy.
master of weird ass titles. Like for instance,
But it's
Total Recall.
philosophically
you
a
wanna-
banger. Like,
the
it's-
story
makes
that
you
Total
wonder.
Recall is based on, we'll remember it for you wholesale. Like the dumbest fucking titles imaginable. Yet Philip K.
No,
Dick, one of the
but
greatest
dude,
science fiction writers of all time. So
but it's not dumb. They're not dumb. It's like, do androids dream of electric sheep is like a fascinating philosophical question. Like if AI was if they were sentient, will AI dream of electric sheep instead of, I don't know. It's just, it is a fascinating, like, dude, Philip K. Dick, as Isaac Asimov, some of the greatest science fiction authors of all time. And like Apple's got so many of their works, in adaptation. It's great. It's great. All
we
masterpieces.
can remember it for you wholesale, that rather than we'll remember it for you wholesale. So, but yeah. Anyway,
Now
this
the
looks
next
great.
one, John, is
On
all
to the
you,
next one.
because- Yes.
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 Peak. Mike Flanagan. Peak. Let's go. Although it is kind of funny because it says it'll bring the classic novel into the social media age, which is what the 2013 movie already kind of did. I mean, that was part of the story. It's like her, the tampon incident gets uploaded to YouTube, and like, she gets a lot of hate for that. So yeah. But this looks amazing. They're doing a lot of things that are different from the book, but like, again, because that's what Mike Flanagan usually does, is like he takes the core of the book and then like characters and like completely warps it, that it's just like you can barely call it an adaptation. It's just like how he does this entirely different story, but with like the core of this. So I don't know how they'll do that, because like Haunting of Hill House and Taming of the Shrew were so different with Haunting of Hill House and Haunting of Bly Manor. So I'm really curious how he does with Carrie, because it seems like the foundation of it is there. It's just like, I know they'll say that like, oh, it's actually also, we're also going to introduce like other people with powers, and it's just yeah, I'm just curious how he'll do it. If it's like going to be more like the book, or it's totally different from the book, like with Hill House and Bly Manor. So I'm curious. I think it looks great. I think with what they're doing, it looks really, really good. But it's a fresh, contemporary reimagining of Stephen King's classic story. The iconic moments that will unfold through newfound depth and tension across the series. So yeah, it's essentially same vibes, but like still different. So good stuff. I'm excited. I like the cast. I even said like way back when, oh my god, I'm totally blanking on her name. Hang on a sec. Samantha Sloyan, who was this like in her character in Midnight Mass. I'm like, man, if Mike Flanagan ever makes a Carrie adaptation, she'd be perfect for Margaret White. And wouldn't you know, they cast her as Margaret White in this show. It's like, yep, we all figured that was the case. But yeah, this looks awesome. All hail fucking Mike Flanagan. So great stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's ahead of its time, some of the themes. And yeah, I mean, as far as the Blade Runner, to your point, Kingsport Cal, that we talked about last week over the weekend, put a great trailer out for that too. Blade Runner 2099, all these like, classic IP books are getting kind of readapted again, John, between Carrie, Blade Runner, or like sequel spinoff. And then of course we just talked about Neuromancer, which is going to be great. Like TV, we're spoiled for choice. We're just spoiled for choice. And some of the greatest works of all time getting adapted either for the first or for like the second, third, however many times. So yeah, I mean, the Exorcist movie coming out next year, Carrie, it's like Mike Flanagan's on and then Clayface, he wrote the thing. So Mike Flanagan is on a run, man. He's everywhere.
Yeah. He's got all things. And then he's still working on that damn Dark Tower series. Let's hope we actually get that eventually. But,
make it good.
They're stringing him along.
Yeah. Speaking of stringing them along, I feel like every Monday for the last month or so, we've been doing these Mount Rushmore Mondays. And I mean, Mount Rushmore Mondays, I feel like they keep getting better every week. So
yeah,
this week you guys voted
for
we're
historical fucking 2 hours in and we haven't even hit the quick hits. I know. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, we'll get there. Well, we got Mount Rushmore Monday to get to first, so let's do that, shall we? Historical epics. You guys voted for it?
Most of which are not historical or epic, so it's okay.
Like, look, okay, to kind of provide a definition, what I had in mind was like first swords and sandal movies for the most part, but also I think a good historical epic, it doesn't necessarily need to be exactly historically accurate, but it could be like loosely based on events, or even mythical event, like the Odyssey. and an epic is something that, you know, it takes place on a large scale across a period of time, larger than life characters, or characters that are made larger than life by the story that was told about them or with them or for them. But I think like everybody has a very loose adaptation. So but there's also the thing of, I think some of the best historical epics have not been made by Hollywood over the years, but like that's another thing for another time. But Hollywood has made some really good ones over the years. So let's get into the Mount Rushmores. You guys sent us a bunch of them. We have a dozen of them today, so a lot of them to get through. We'll start with Monique. I don't know if Monique is still in the chat, but Monique sent her picks, very first set of picks that we got. In fact, she actually, in case she wasn't in the chat, she sent us her reasoning for all of them. So the first one she chose was Agora. I have not seen, I think,
I've never fucking even heard of it.
So Agora, I mean, a lot of these movies, several of them are from the mid 2000s, which seems to be like that era where Monique has a lot of her best movies or like her favorites, which is fine. But Agora, she said, not many movies about polymaths exist. So a movie about Hypatia of Alexandria is going to top the list, plus the performances are outstanding. Cool. I can't comment on it because I haven't seen it beyond that. But then she said Mongol. My favorite Hun is definitely Kutulun. Okay. But sadly, she isn't portrayed much in cinema, so Borte and Taijimin will have to do. It's not super accurate historically, but still pretty great. I actually want to see Mongol because like the Mongolian Empire is historically a fascinating like page in the history books. Then she put in Wind Talkers. That's that one on the third one from the left. She said, again, not super accurate historically, which we have talked about before, but definitely accurate how important the Navajo code talkers were to the success of the Pacific theater in World War II. Yeah, because they helped kind of like, you know, encode everything so that Germans couldn't crack the code. And the Navajo are closely related to the Apache. My favorite Apache is Lozen. Sadly, no movie about her. So yeah, Wind Talkers, actually, that sounds really fascinating to me personally. And then Call of the Wild. My father's family made a fortune in cattle and hospitality during the California Gold Rush. That's awesome, Monique. That is awesome. But not many movies about that, but the Yukon Gold Rush is the closest setting. Plus, I love Jack London. That's cool. I think he wrote the book. This kind of inches out White Fang, but barely. I've never watched that either, unfortunately. The only more interesting canine protagonist is Sergeant Stubby, who has his own animated movie. I mean, I personally don't love dog in the wild movies, but I mean, you know, it's Harrison Ford, so Call of the Wild. I did see it.
Yeah, I just saw that CGI dog. I'm like, nah, fam, I can't do it.
But these are some good picks because, again, I don't think most of us have seen Mongol, Agora, or like Wind Talkers.
I think that could work. Any nonfiction movie could be good.
It is Harrison Ford in that one, Chuck. I mean, but like the Wind Talkers is, but we have a few other movies like this which are more like, but like war movies could be historical epics because, like, you know, wars depends. Well, most wars are, you know, epic in a certain sense, like in a more morbid sense of point of view. U-571.
That's I think that would count.
Yeah. I mean, again, there's genre crossover potential. I think historical epics isn't so much a genre unto itself as it is an amalgamation of things. So we'll allow it. Some of these, I think, but if you were doing pure genre, like if you're just doing war movies, then like that kind of narrows it down. But okay, I mean, that's a good set of picks though, Monique, and it's certainly the most unique one that we saw today, and we'll see today because I made all the graphics. I can tell you that. So, and I actually kind of want to watch the three I haven't seen, especially. I mean, that's Nick Cage right there. So, oopsie poopsie. Anyway, let's keep on going. Enterprising made his Mount Rushmore, and this is a little more recognizable because he's got Spartacus. He's got Gladiator, of course. I mean, these are the movies that you just recognize by the people on the posters. Spartacus, Gladiator, Braveheart, Lawrence of Arabia. I think this is like the definition of historical epics, 1, 2, 3, 4, not in any particular order. Lawrence of Arabia, Peter O'Toole. Huh? It is a great list.
No, great list.
Yeah, it's a damn fine list. Enterprising. It's a
damn good coffee. Anyway, there's my David Lynch quote. So Caleb,
I take that deal. Today. Damn good deal. Nobody put Inglorious Bastards in any of the lists, by the way. But
I don't really see that as a historical epic.
I know, but this is like, if you wanted to tell anybody the quintessential historical epics, like, you can watch these four, even though 2 of the 4 are very, very loosely based on myths and maybe half-truths and whatnot. But I mean, even Braveheart.
I mean,
like,
Braveheart is
actually
probably
true.
the most historically inaccurate movie ever made.
Exactly.
So, you know.
But you know what I mean? But like, there, you know, in terms of the genre, it certainly, you know, passes the muster. So
yeah,
it's a nice list. Accuracy be damned.
Yet, ironically, the people that are fans of Mel Gibson are the ones calling the Odyssey fucking historically inaccurate. So go figure on that one.
Hey, we got more Mel Gibson coming up later on. Yes, Inglourious Bastard does take place too, but it is like fictionalized in a lot of ways, the events, although like very loosely.
I mean,
based.
yeah, they gunned down Hitler. Like, can't get more fictional than that.
Right. Yeah, in an alternate timeline. Anyway, let's move on. Caleb, hey, Caleb is here. Caleb, why talk to us? Of course, you got to put a Monty Python in there, Life of Brian. Then he's got what's this movie, Silence from 2016 with Liam Neeson's. Then you got There Will Be Blood, which is also a more recent movie, much more relatively recent. And then of course,
he's got the most recent with Oppenheimer.
I mean, of all the people on today's Mount Rushmore Monday, I didn't think Caleb would have a Christopher Nolan movie on his Mount Rushmore, but here we are.
I think he just did it out of spite, probably. And then like none of these are historical epics.
It's a biopic Western. Is Silence
it's like
Western?
Western, neo-Western kind of vibes.
Yeah.
Then
Life of Brian, is
like a comedy, and then like
it's a parody at best. I don't know. It's, you know, like there was one person who I just straight up said, no, we're not gonna do this, because this person was like, I love purple, he, and they said Conjuring 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm like, sure, bro. Next time if Caleb does something like this, I want to say sure, bro, and we're not gonna put him in here, because you gotta stick to you gotta at least try to wiggle your way in, you know, with like your explanations. Like none of these movies are technically really like historical epics, so Figure Drawing, we'll get to your list soon. But yeah, Silence stuff. Okay, all right, let's move on. Right Dude, I don't know if Right Dude is watching, but Right Dude, you did send in your picks.
Right now.
So Right Dude sent in Clash of the Titans, the 1981 Clash of the Titans, Gladiator, Jason and the Argonauts, which is basically an Odyssey adaptation, and then you've got Seven Samurai. John, I believe you would appreciate this list. What do you think about Right Dude
it's just like, for me, it was like, again, I was trying to pick stuff that like actually happened for the most part, so I didn't go with Seven Samurai on my list. But this is a pretty good list. A lot of sword and sandal stuff, but yeah, still really good.
Sure, Caleb, your things, but yeah, I mean, these are all great pictures. I mean, Gladiator is gonna be one of the most popular ones you'll see today. I think it shows up in like 6 of these.
I was gonna go with it, then I'm like, nah, I'm gonna go with another one, and
I almost put Gladiator in mine too. Look, man, the 4th one was really hard to pick. Yeah, Harryhausen, man. Yeah, Argonauts. There we go. But hey, Nelson, I think you were in the chat earlier. Tell us if you're still here. So Nelson picked The Passion of the Christ, which is, again, a very loose adaptation, again, but like faith-based picture, but sure, I guess it counts technically. The Odyssey, which definitely qualifies historical epic. How accurate it is, who knows. And then, of course, we see for the second time Clash of the Titans, and then of course you got Flags of Our Fathers, which again is a war movie, but like you could say it's a historical epic. I guess it's like, by that definition, Saving Private Ryan is also a historical epic. So, but you know, we'll allow it. But I definitely think this is a cool list. And knowing Nelson personally, I could tell you this very much aligns with his taste in movies. So, yeah, that's a cool list. You got the Odyssey for the first time. First of many, I think. But hey, we got Marco here. D. Ross. Marco, yeah, we want epics, Kingsport Cal. That's what we want. Today is all about historical epics. It says it in the graphic right there. But anyway, so Gladiator again. And then you got Dances with Wolves. I almost put the Avatar poster in there just to mess around. But anyway, Dances with Wolves, Gladiator. Then of course this one I didn't know of. I have heard of Apocalypto, but I've never seen it. Yeah. And then you got Schindler's List, which Schindler's List is also going to pop up a few times, which is also like sort of not a historical epic, but also is. And it's just so good that once I was like, okay, if it technically qualifies, it has to be on the list. So it makes sense.
I've been watching it the past few days. I've been taking frequent breaks because, it's a lot. So I've been like slowly over the course of like a couple days, I've been watching Schindler's List. Like I think I'm like halfway through, but it's a lot.
It's almost 4 hours long. So I don't blame
it's a little over 3 hours. It's not 4 hours, but it's a little.
No, it's
over
like 3 hours 40 minutes. No, is it? Am I
it's
wrong
3
about
hours
that?
15, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah,
not
it's
quite
that
as long, but it's it's still very long. It's just like it's not the length that bothers me. It's just like it's a lot. It's a heavy duty fucking movie to watch. So it's just like the fucking scene where they're fucking killing all of them and like deporting them to the concentration camps. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ.
It's like you can't unsee the movie. You can't unsee that movie.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that not every historical epic needs epic battles, but that's also.
I mean, not every historical epic needs to be historical or an epic. Am I right? So it's just...
you know what I mean? Kingsford Cal saying Black Hawk Down, 12 Years a Slave, Zero Dark 30. First of all, you give us 5 movies, and Tetris is definitely
5 movies, and
Tetris and Steve Jobs are not it. And Zero Dark 30, dude, it's 2026. If this was 2086, maybe Zero Dark 30 would be a historical epic. But my dude, I think there's people out there that's still related to Osama bin Laden that are alive. So like, I think it's not a historical epic. But anyway, thanks for trying. OG Roots, okay, sure. Monique saying if you were going for runtime, you would almost want miniseries like Roots, North and South. Yeah, that's true. It's not the worst genre. I think it's a hard to define genre. That's the thing. But someone did say Troy. We'll get to it. It comes up later. Somebody did say Troy.
Yeah. But Marco has a good list.
Sure. That's a good list. Let's move on.
Okay.
And then
Sure, bro.
And then there you go. There's Troy right there. Stacy sent us a list with Spartacus, Lawrence of Arabia, which is also a very popular pick, as it should be in this genre. And then she got Cold Mountain. All I see is Nicole Kidman making out with why am I forgetting his Jude Law? Jude Law.
Jesus Christ, man.
Sorry, just blanked on his name for half a second there. And then you got Troy, which according to Caleb is a banger. I mean, it's Brad Pitt. He's
I mean, it exists.
He's banging Diane Kruger. I mean, like, why would you not? Great movie.
I know, like Tetris is a fucking great
but it's not
movie.
A historical epic.
But it's not a historical
like I'm
epic.
Sorry. It's not. Like it's historical,
it's barely
but it's short and epic.
And it's not an epic. I watched the fucking movie. Don't get me wrong.
I love the movie.
With fucking
epic is not the word I would use to describe
a hero in Russian was like awesome.
Right.
But like, come on. Prince of Egypt, that's a good choice.
Prince of Egypt is yes. Okay, all right, let's keep going. Thank you, Stacy, for a good list there. Okay. Then we got John's list. Then Lawrence of Arabia still stuck smack dab in the middle of the list. But then John will walk us through the rest.
So I picked The Robe. The reason I picked The Robe is because that was the first ever movie shot with like CinemaScope in mind. Like that was like the Robe is what pretty much started the biblical epic. So I felt that had a big place in cinema history.
Underrated.
Like that was, like Ben-Hur, 10 Commandments, shit like that, like all started because of The Robe. So I thought The Robe was a very important movie to have. And then I thought Lawrence of Arabia, that's a very important movie. Like kind of was trying to go for movies that like actually had historical precedent and were epics. Then Schindler's List, I've literally, as I said, I've literally been watching it. It's half of a great movie. I don't know the rest of it, but like I assume it's a great movie, period. And then Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut specifically, because the theatrical cut is apparently very bad. Director's cut is superior, and that was like, because I was like, oh, should I go with Gladiator? But then I'm like, nah, I don't think anybody else is gonna pick Kingdom of Heaven. So I was like, Kingdom of Heaven, from what I've heard, the director's cut is an amazing movie. It's like one of Ridley Scott's best movies. So like, I thought that
could it
that
have to
was
be in a Mount
definitely...
Rushmore, like 4 of the best that you could come up with.
Yeah.
Okay,
like, dude,
all
like
right.
I was trying to think of like, like, because I feel like I don't know, like I think Kingdom of Heaven deserves to be up there. Lawrence of Arabia, Schindler's. I think they all deserved it. The Robe was probably the one that was like because what I try to do is I try to think of movies of like with historical precedent rather than what I like. But the thing is, the Robe was the only one I could think of that had major historical precedent. Lawrence of Arabia, Schindler's List, and the director's cut of Kingdom of Heaven are just great movies that are historical and are epics. So like I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go with that. Exactly.
No, I mean the Crusades definitely. I don't deny that the Crusades.
But yeah, I think so that's what I was like trying to go for, and I tried to pick with two like more golden age Hollywood kind of movies.
Right.
And then two more modern movies. I was trying to do that as well. So, yeah.
Yeah, funnily enough, the only black and white movie in this one is like one of the newer ones. But hey, that's Schindler's List for you. Calm down, Caleb. You hush. You had a list that barely had anything to do with historical epics. But we move on from John's picks to my picks, which I think is a decent mix.
No, another good list. Mainly because half of it's my list. But, I agree.
Just because your list came first does not mean that mine is not original, John.
No, I know. I'm just saying, I'm just saying I agree with it because I put it on my list too.
Absolutely. Dude, the Odyssey is great. The original 1959 Ben-Hur changed so much about film. It just everybody wanted their own Ben-Hur. I mean, they made a Ben-Hur in 2016. Terrible. The original 1959 had Toby
Kebbell in it. It's like, why is this being made?
God. Sorry, it's the original Ben-Hur 1959. It's just, dude, they shot shit for real. Like the scale in that movie is they're not faking it. They're not faking it in any way whatsoever. That shit was real. Charlton Heston was riding real chariots, real horses, real people in the crowd. The original Ben-Hur. It's long, like
no new ones. The Odyssey just came out 2 weeks ago. What the fuck do you mean not new?
Yeah, the Odyssey is right there, bro. And then also, if you wanted to watch between Lawrence of Arabia and Ben-Hur, you should put aside 8 hours of your day because both of those movies are 15 minutes shy of 4 hours a piece. And then you got Schindler's List, which I was like, you can't unsee Schindler's List.
Yeah,
how important
I did consider putting Cleopatra on there, but I was like,
dude, I thought about Cleopatra. Look, I'm literally gonna read this out to you guys just for a moment because
Sure.
I just feel like I have to. These are the movies I left off the list because I told Liz and John, I was like, look, I came up with 3 movies. I was like the Odyssey, Ben-Hur, and Lawrence of Arabia. And then I was like kind of like just on the edge about Schindler's List because I wasn't really sure if it was purely a historical epic. Ice Age is not a historical epic, but sure. Maybe if we were doing parodies of historical epics. But I was like kind of on the edge with Schindler's List because I just wasn't sure it really belonged.
All right, you know where the fucking door is. Don't let it hit you on the way out, bro.
But
same for me. I consider Master and Commander too. Sorry, dude, cutting off, Dan. But
yeah, but okay. So here are the movies that I was considering before I picked Schindler's List. I was thinking of Gladiator, Braveheart, which both came to mind. I watched the trailers. I was like, yes, these are historical epics, even though they're not necessarily very accurate to actual history. But then I thought of Mughal-e-Azam, which is one of the biggest of the Mughal Empire. Like it was a Bollywood movie that was huge. This is from like the 60s.
I don't know, Dan. I feel like you should always have a Bollywood. I feel like that's your thing. That's
I know,
what you know.
But
I think you should have put a Bollywood movie on here.
I just again, Schindler's List was like the one that was the spot. So then I was considering Bridge on the River Kwai, which they made 5 years before Lawrence of Arabia by the same filmmakers that made Lawrence of Arabia.
David Lean, yeah.
I mean, and Bridge on the River Kwai, somebody else thankfully puts it in their list later. Sinners is technically a historical epic, but I think that was going to be a hard one to defend because it's mostly also a horror movie. Cleopatra, you just talked about. Joan of Arc. I mean, come on. Then there's another big Bollywood one from back in the day, Anarkali, which is also kind of has to do with the Mughal-e-Azam story, but like a different kind of focus. It's kind of like the Cleopatra to like the Egyptian Empire sort of situation. RRR, I think, was a historical epic, if not anything else. The Great Escape. I think somebody put a Great Escape.
Wasn't that fictional though? Fucking RRR.
It's like a fictional, semi-fictional amalgamation of. They were 2 real people that the movie is based on. but they never met each other in real life, even though in the movie they become best friends. So they fictionalized the stories, but this is based on two real people. The Great Escape, I mentioned, somebody else has it, so I was like, okay, I'll let that slide. And then Seven Samurai I was thinking of. So I mean, there's just so many of these historical epics. There's a couple of Russian ones I looked at too. It's just, again, there's a lot of good ones out there. So historical epics, it's a hard genre to define, but I feel like the Odyssey, Ben-Hur, Lawrence of Arabia, and then less so, but still, if you watch it, Schindler's List is a historical epic of like.
I mean, it is
tragedy.
The most expensive black and white film ever made, so I feel like that kind of adds to the epic nature of it.
Yeah, I mean, considering the only movie ever shot entirely in 70mm film, IMAX film, is The Odyssey. I mean, Lawrence of Arabia was shot on 70mm film too, just not 70mm IMAX film. Which, by the way, Ryan Coogler mentioned he's shooting Black Panther 3 in 70mm film. He held out a piece of film. It's just hard to tell if it was a 70mm IMAX film or regular 70mm.
I think it's just regular 70mm.
I think
I don't think he has
looked to me
the
like it was
clout to
regular. Because it was like a wider frame, because IMAX is more of a taller 70mm. So anyway, well, let's keep going. So that was my list, and then we go on to we jumped over. This is
Movie Spud.
Yeah,
again,
Movie Spud.
Movie Spud has peak taste, guys, because Lawrence of Arabia, Gladiator, Kwai, Odyssey.
Dude, he was basically did what I should have done in a way, because you got the Odyssey, Lawrence of Arabia, Gladiator, and then I'm going to tell you guys an interesting story about Bridge on the River Kwai, right? So English is not my first language. Growing up, I did not speak English until I moved to the UK. I learned English. It is still to this day is my second language, but I speak it fairly well. I remember watching as one of the movies when I was super young for a long time ago. It was on cable at my uncle's house, and I remember it was about these like guys who put these explosves on a bridge.
Movie Spud has done better, but it's a pretty damn good list.
And like it blows up, and then there's like the thing about like an like in the oceanside mountain defense and all that. I'm like, wait, like what is this movie that I could never name it, and I didn't understand the English in it, so I just like for years was like, I want to watch that movie again. And then years later, when the believe it or not, when it finally clicked, I was watching an episode of Parks and Rec, and then for Ron's birthday, Leslie Knope gets him like just a steak dinner and says, "I rented for you Bridge on the River Kwai, and you can sit quietly and watch that while eating your steak dinner." And I was like, "Wait a second!"
And his
I
Lagavulin
looked it up,
whiskey.
and it's like all of a sudden I'm like, "Shit!" It clicked together. It was like this big bulb, and I'm like, years later, I was like in my 20s, and then from being like 15 years before having first seen Bridge on the River Kwai, it's so I have a very deep appreciation for Bridge on the River Kwai. But yes, a historical epic of the highest regard. How old was I when I started learning English? I want to say I was like 9 or 10. So yeah, Ron Swanson is the best of us. I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, that's probably where I probably learned it too. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think what you heard was bring me a lot of bacon and eggs. What I said was bring me all the bacon and eggs you have.
Do you understand?
Do you understand?
I'll have a number 7. That's a party platter. It feeds 12. I know what I'm about, son.
I know what I'm about.
And the thing is, what's so funny, I actually have a friend like that who can like just inhale food. Like, because Dan, I forget, what theater do you have near you? Is it an AMC?
I have an AMC and a Regal near me.
Okay, so I know you go. Okay, so if you go to the AMC, the thing is they have the fucking pretzel. The pretzel at AMC is a
I've
fucking
had it.
Behemoth.
Once upon a time, it took me 2 days to finish it.
It took me 3 days to finish it. It was fucking monstrous. And the thing is, I bet my friend, and I believe he can do it. So it would be like a free, if I'm like, I bet you $50 that you could do this. I could do it. Like, I'm like, next time we go to a movie, like maybe a movie we don't really care about as much, I'm going to buy you this fucking pretzel. And if you finish it before the movie ends, I will give you $50. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll take that deal. I believe he can do it. The man can inhale food like no one's business. He could probably put Ron Swanson to shame. So I'm just saying, it's crazy. Like I remember I made the first time that like I had a friend group over and I invited him, and like I had like this entire batch of like chicken cutlets because when I was like, oh, you got to make food for them. I'm like, all right, I guess chicken cutlets fine. And like he must have had at least like a dozen like cutlets, and he was like, can I have more? And I'm like, if there's more left. He's like, yeah, there's still like 5 left, can I have them? And I'm like, yeah. And he just fucking piled them, and then he fucking ate it all, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with your stuff?
I'd be on the shitter for like a while because like I can't take, especially like red meat, like there's like I
oh
can't
yeah,
have too much red
100%.
meat.
Like he could probably feed himself with like those across like every restaurant. Like, oh, if you eat like a fucking gigantic porterhouse, you get it for free. He could probably feed himself with that and like be fine, and probably still be hungry afterwards. So like, oh yeah, I'll eat this large fucking pizza, and it's like $100, but if you get it, you'll eat it for free, and then boom. So.
I felt that moment. I think it was was it a computer or the printer? Yeah, he threw his whole computer. That episode of Ron Swanson, he throws it's a meme. It's a GIF or a GIF now. So anyway, but Movie Spot, great list, and obviously brings back some memories for the both of us. Figure drawing. Hey, Kayla was hinting at this in the chat. Seven Samurai, Goodfellas. Sure, and I mean you could kind of make an argument. The Witch, the Robert Eggers The Witch, and then you have Full Metal Jacket. I mean, I guess you got a Kubrick.
Honestly,
John,
like if I had to pick
list.
an Eggers movie that was a defined historical epic, I would have fucking picked The Northman. That's an epic.
That is exactly, yes. That's actually a really.
I wouldn't have picked The Witch. The Witch is very like very small. Like that and The Lighthouse were very small movies, but like then the 2 movies he's made since then, like 100% The Northman, and I would even dare say Nosferatu is could be more classified as a historical epic, even though it's a fictional story. But yeah, it's sorry, you figure drawing, we like you. You usually have some good picks, but like, yeah, bro, this ain't it. Like 3 out of 4 of these don't really count.
It is very loose. It is very loose. By the way, I love Ron Swanson's Pyramid of Greatness. I think that's one of the best things they've ever created for any sitcom of all time.
It's all about vibes, but not about the fucking like genre we picked for the Mount Rushmore, but okay.
Like vibes, okay, sure.
Like
great.
Vibes of what? Vibes of historical epics that aren't historical epics? Like what the fuck you mean, bro?
I'm like, you could make a technical argument that Goodfellas was a historical epic because it is based on real events that take place over a long period of time that brought down a crime family. Like it's just,
but it's not epic though. That's the thing.
But it's not like epic.
Here's
like,
the thing: Seven Samurai is not historical,
Yeah.
but it is epic. Goodfellas is not epic, but it's historical. And The Witch and Full Metal Jacket are neither. So, like, yeah.
Yes, King's Port.
Yes, I do remember that.
Yeah. Vibes of all-time directors doing historic. Sure, okay.
Sure,
but they did better historical movies that you could have included in here. Anyway.
Yeah, fucking, I can't believe I'm saying, but look at Caleb. At least Silence can be, and that was Scorsese. Yeah. That can be considered.
Yes. Also, Apollo 13 is a historical movie, but not an epic. Like,
it's not an epic.
I don't think people know what a historical epic is. Do we need to do like a definition? Like, do we need to like?
I feel like we should have done a definition because Liz's choices are also not it, bro.
I can't believe, and she picked like 3 movies we have done in a previous Mount Rushmore, like that she picked. Like she really didn't think that through very much. But Goodfellas is technically epic, but not in the epics. It's literally epic, but it's not epic in the way that a historical epic would be. And I mean, Public Enemies also does not qualify, but sure.
Okay, well, I mean, you're the shit poster of the group, so we're not, so
you don't really count, but you're on.
Braveheart kind of counts, even though it's not historically accurate, but it is a historical epic.
Yes.
I mean, Robin Hood isn't, and fucking Romeo and Juliet definitely fucking isn't.
No, John, it's Romeo plus Juliet.
Oh God! Don't fucking remind. Oh my God! I fucking
hate
because
that movie
so much.
But that's the one Liz picked. Is the
I
one
know
with
Romeo
Leo.
plus Juliet, and it fucking sucks ass. Like
Far and Away. I think she picked Far and Away for
everyone knows the best Romeo and Juliet adaptation is Warm Bodies. Get the fuck out of here.
And Prince of Thieves. I mean, again, not really. Because
Liz just picks whatever she wants and then fucking fucks off. That's all she. my favorite historical epic, Romeo plus Juliet. Like if we're going for like historical epics, honestly, the fucking Elvis movie, if we're talking about Baz Luhrmann, is more accurate.
I know.
I voted for biopics, and that was the fucking lowest out of all.
I know,
of them.
Eric. I thought we were not. I didn't think we were. I think trilogies was gonna win. I think Enterprise sent us his trilogies and then
or comedy movies. Historical epics, because those were high in the beginning.
Took the lead.
But no, fucking historical epics.
I mean, Titanic is more of a historical epic. Yeah, I know. Well, I guess we've done it now, so there's no putting it back on the voting options.
We know, Caleb. We know. It's fine. Anyway,
I voted for. I know.
What do you think? Drop your picks in the comments down below. Actual historical fucking epics, maybe.
Yes, please.
Y'all suck. This was terrible. This was like the worst one so far.
Okay, Finger Drawing was saying that John wants Jesus Christ Superstar, The Last of the Mohicans, Amadeus, and Glory. Glory is also not a historical epic. It's historical, but it's not epic. It's a sports drama, sort of.
What?
There was one
Glory.
I'm thinking of Rudy. Glory is different. Never mind.
Bro, you need sleep, bro. Jesus.
I do need sleep, but I was looking for a comment. Ernie Town was like, Goodfellas is to Godfather as Platoon is to Apocalypse Now. But it doesn't make it a
four are amazing movies, just maybe not as good as others.
It doesn't make it a historical epic, but sure.
Yeah, my favorite historical epic is the Donald Trump movie.
I know Glory's about Civil War. Sorry, Monique. I didn't mean.
That's a much better list, Caleb. That's a much better list. I'll give you that. Yeah.
Killers of the Flower Moon is actually great. Despite the fact it wasn't good, the Ridley Scott Napoleon is also technically a historical epic.
I liked Napoleon.
Mount Rushmore.
That was me. Yeah. That's just me.
But I guess it's like Mount Rushmore Monday, so like you got to pick really good ones. I feel like we did cover the biggest ones though. We got Ben-Hur in there, a lot of Lawrence of Arabia.
No, I didn't want fights. It's just like I wanted people to understand the topic because like 90% of people fucking didn't. Anyway, quick hit time. I'm done with this shit. Let's move the fuck on.
We'll try again next week.
It's fucking 2 a.m. I want to go to bed. Anyway. No, fucking Dan, pissing me off. Tom Holland, some of my movies are shit and you shouldn't watch them. Yeah, we know. Uncharted and fucking Cherry exist.
He's like, I had to promote all these movies, but you really kind of know on the inside this thing is shit. So I'm like, yeah, I get it. Like everything other than like the Odyssey and the Spider-Man movies that you've done. Understandable. So yeah.
Yep. Trailer, Onslaught, Adria Arjona versus Super Soldiers in bloody new trailer for Adam Wingard's action. This honestly might be Adam Wingard's best movie. And
I was surprised because I mean Adam Wingard, there's a low bar for me for Adam Wingard movies. But
I like Adam Wingard. It's just like the only bad movie I've seen from him is like You're Next. You're Next was ass, but like the rest of his filmography has been like pretty good. Like for me, I'm excited for this. And I love The Guest. I mean, I like both of his Godzilla Kong movies, and
you know, like as much as you can like Godzilla Kong movies, but I guess that's why I'm not.
Kong is peak cinema. All right, I'll fucking take it over Doomsday. Like, come on now. Low bar, but you know.
Sure. Let's keep going.
Children of Blood and Bone featurette reveals stunning new footage. First trailer arrives tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw this. This featurette was fantastic, dude. Damson Idris, you got Gina Prince Bythewood directing it. Regina King is in this. Who's Amanda Waller again? Why do I keep? Viola Davis is in this. Chiwetel Ejiofor is in this. I'm forgetting of somebody really obvious. Idris Elba is in this. I mean, the cast is just
Damon
stacked.
Idris Elba.
Yeah, and then this entire movie, it looks epic. The books is based on, despite the fact the author kind of fell out with the filmmakers. I can't wait to see this. This could become a franchise. Children of Blood and Bone.
Oh, I didn't like Your Next. I thought it was ridiculous, kind of dumb premise, very silly, bad acting, very dumb movie. I will say it's on the cusp of so bad it's good. Yeah, but it's not a good movie. Like, whatever. Anyway.
But I'm sure we'll talk about the trailer tomorrow for that movie.
So apparently we're going to get Heated Rivalry meets the Baba Yaga myth, which, like, I don't know how that's going to fucking work, but sure.
Well, I mean, very loosely, because, like, Hudson Williams is not, like, I guess he could be bi, but, like, he's after a MILF, if anything. Carrie Ann Moss.
I mean, good
Hudson
for him,
Williams,
because MILFs
equal
are
parts
peak.
steamy and spooky. Yeah, sure. AMC Plus in the US, Crave in the Canada, whatever. Half-hour series reimagining of the Baba Yaga myth. Sure.
Oh yeah, Ready or
I
Not, it's
saw the trailer.
awesome. Yeah, that's
I mean,
like the
this is not
one the Ready or Not movies are like the few radio silence movies I actually like.
By the way, this trailer is not as steamy as the headline indicates that it is, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you're a Heated
Anyway.
Rivalry fan, then you could watch it.
The Traitors India sets August season 2 bow on Prime Video.
So that's Karan Johar right there. His production company, Dharma Productions, is releasing that big Indian film we talked about the other day. I'm forgetting the name of. That's going to be like a Sony distributed around the
their
world.
kind of Odyssey vibe.
Yeah,
I forget what it's
so
called. I know what you're talking about, though.
He's the producer behind it. He's also a director, and he hosts the Indian version of The Traitors, which season 2 on Prime Video. Go check it out.
Mm-hmm. But next up, Emmy Awards. Will the Emmy Awards be unified? The TV Academies are holding merger talks. The only merger I support.
Did you guys know that the TV Academy was actually 2 TV Academies? Because the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, which is the Hollywood version, they're the ones based in LA, they separated in the 70s, 50 years ago, from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, which is based in New York. Now the Academy of Television Arts and Sciences give out the primetime Emmys, the ones that most people know about, the ones that, you know, where The Bear and all those shows like Smart, well, what's that, well, we just talked about all the nominees, like they're gonna hopefully win Shogun and all those, The Pit. Then the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences basically gives out every other Emmy, including sports Emmys, creative arts Emmys.
Is that what you
Emmys.
have?
Yes, I do. So I got mine from the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. Now, there was a lot of acrimony in the 70s when they split up. The reason why they're trying to get back together again is because they want to basically collectively bargain or like negotiate for a new TV deal, which can affect, you know, which the more you have for content, the more money you can ask for. Because like the the Academy, the one that gives the primetime Emmys in LA, they earn like $50 million a year. The National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences in New York, they earn like $10 million because the primetime Emmys have a TV deal that's worth 10 times more. So they're trying to like get it all together into one company organization again. So yeah, I have 2 Emmys, your fake 915. But anyway,
just dunking on us all.
What? Thank you.
Anyway,
let's move on.
Apparently Peacock to be included with YouTube Premium and major streamings tie-up. Great, cool. Don't fucking care.
This is cool because like I can stop paying for Peacock Premium because I have YouTube Premium, so I can get it all in one.
Oh, you're one of them bitches that got YouTube Premium.
Because I don't like ads. I mean, and you know.
Yeah. Okay. Get Brave as a browser, then you don't have to deal with ads again. That's what I.
But then, like, you can't do it across all your devices. Anyway, it's fine.
Yeah, I don't care.
This is cool because this is like YouTube trying to bundle all the streaming services. So I mean, Peacock is low.
SAG-AFTRA comes out against Paramount Warner Brothers merger. Yeah, you and everybody else in fucking Hollywood.
The biggest union in Hollywood finally asking for enforceable safeguards to be put in place. They didn't like. It's a strongly worded letter. They haven't like filed a lawsuit or anything.
Yeah,
so
they had one of the 12 lawsuits that that everyone's been filing. Yeah. But yeah, and speaking of, Benedict Cumberbatch, Alan Cumming, and Benedict Wong urge UK government to block the merger. It threatens to inflict immense harm.
Yeah, this is part of because the UK hasn't approved this yet. Oh yeah, Kingsport Cal appreciates. He's gonna get Peacock. Dude, now you can actually just binge Parks and Rec on YouTube directly. But so the UK, I don't know if the UK is gonna let this pass. At last check, the UK was gonna scrutinize it a bit more, but then ultimately let it go. So now that the lawsuit in the US has kind of put a pause on this, I think UK might feel like they have more leeway, and with the new prime minister, even though the cultural secretary is still the same, they might actually like put some real, thorns in the side of Paramount with this. So I mean, obviously the biggest British stars putting their name behind support for stopping the merger certainly helps. So yeah, cool.
Then finally, I'll just watch it on my phone, me screaming.
Listening to the sirens as you pass by in the Odyssey.
Yep.
IMAX is doing the Lord's work, John. That's what that was.
They are. I will say I like their Threads account because they do good work.
They do amazing.
But,
like the Batman Threads account. It's giving advice and just being Batman.
Thanks for watching the news portion. Let's get on to DCU Daily. So let's be blessed.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see.
Right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts. Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all in the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Hunka,
All right, welcome on into another episode of DCU Daily. It's time to get into all the DC talk. And well, we got a lot to get into today because there's a lot of DC news that came out over the weekend. I mean, partly because Lanterns had a special Comic-Con Hall H panel, and then of course we've got updates. The big thing today we're gonna do is we're gonna do what we did a couple of years ago with Superman. We're gonna do a deep dive on all the Batman Part 2 set photos and videos.
Oh God, how fucking long is this show gonna be, Dan?
It's.
Am I gonna be able to sleep before 3 a.m?
I don't know, John. The odds are telling me
the odds are not in my favor, apparently. Fuck. Well, I'm excited to talk about everything that won't fucking take this to 4 hour long, but okay.
Well, as we usually do, let's get the quick hits out of the way first, shall we? The
yes,
Pelicans.
But your boy Tom, the other sexy blonde in the DCU, was talking about how he was talking about this specific prosthetic. And how he, had like these prosthetics and like these big like contacts and like how he had like all these like huge things on his face. And it's just like the claustrophobic nature of like all these prosthetics. So it's definitely really interesting, kind of giving an insight. I also love the Rotten Tomatoes fucking microphone. But yeah, it looks really good.
Okay, it's a tomato mic. I see.
Yeah, the tomato mic, apparently, and then James Watkins talks about stuff. So yeah, this is looking really good, guys.
Yeah, it is. I mean, both the director and the actor were talking about it. It's good. Many of the interviews after, because they showed up at the Jim Lee panel. That's where this is from Friday. But yeah, let's keep. Or actually, no, it was Thursday. They did theirs on Thursday.
I mean, the fanboys ruin it for everyone, so that's nothing new. Yeah. We're criminals, Alfred. We've always been criminals. Nothing's new. Anyway, but first look at the Clayface movie variant cover for Detective Comics number 1114 by Bjorn Barons, which is going to be on sale a couple days before Clayface. And
damn, son,
it looks like an action figure, like, and he like sculpted around.
It looks like Han Solo and Carbonite, but in
definitely getting those vibes.
Yeah, this is great. Man, yeah, Clayface and Lanterns panels were actually pretty fantastic. I
don't think we had any Nightfall.
We did talk about the trailer last week. We do have some Batman stuff, but not necessarily Nightfall.
Yeah, but that's not the only variant cover. We also have this one. I don't know who it's by though.
This is looking nice. I forgot who this was. Oh God. Okay. Well, when we find out, we'll give credit. But
yeah, I'll find it. I got it.
Jalen saying for some reason they bring up the lie that people thought Supergirl would do more than Spider-Man. Oh, nobody thought that. It's not. And again, to people that want to put Marvel against DC, rising tide raises all ships. Ask anybody on either side. It's when one is doing well, it's more likely the other one.
So this one is Brian Boland. He's doing it for Batman and Robin Year One number 3, which is going to be a week before. The other one we saw. So this is So it's not for the same comic. This is for Batman and Robin Year One number 3 on sale October 14th, and then this one is Bjorn Barons for Detective Comics 1114, which is on sale a week later. So, yep, yeah, Boland is good. Is a good artist, definitely.
Perfect.
Anyway,
Cool.
But yeah. Dan, why do you
Tom
gotta do this to me?
King. Tom King talking about Mr. Miracle, John.
So in addition to the visuals, Tom King explains that every episode of Mr. Miracle features dialogue written by Jack Kirby himself, complete with Kirby's colorful use of punctuation throughout. All of it is aimed at keeping Jack Kirby in the heart of Mr. Miracle, which is where he belongs. All right, so you're fucking ruining Jack Kirby now, you fucking asshole. Jesus Christ. So, but here's the thing that intrigues me with this. So, as we all know, or if you don't know, I'll tell you now, Tom King famously did Mr. Miracle, as in the Maxi series. I've read it, and it was probably the best thing I've read of his, which is, it's fine. It's not great. In terms of his DC stuff, the best thing I've read of his is the Visions, which was actually good. But so the thing I'm confused about this, so it's like, is it gonna be an adaptation of his series or not? Is it like gonna be like a weird melding of it? Like I'm kind of like, did he use Jack Kirby dialogue in his Maxi series and then I'm using it for this? Or is it like gonna be like, it's not gonna be like my Mr. Miracle series, it's gonna be like Jack Kirby's Mr. Miracle series that came out in the 70s. So I'm curious what he means by this. I was a little confused by it. So I don't know. I'm gonna watch it for the show. We'll see, but I'm just kind of confused by what he's saying here.
Well, you gotta remember this is part of the DCU, so they gotta keep it somewhat consistent with whatever the established canon.
No, I know. It's just to be fair. I mean, the Maxi series, that's pretty it's like in its own world. It's its own thing. So I get them. Okay, it makes sense to adapt it because it's like Clayface in a way where it's very much its own thing. Like, it's not connected to anything super related or Lanterns or anything. It's going to be eventually connected to Batman, but in terms of the stuff they've done now, it's not connected, as we've said many times.
Yeah, maybe it's an amalgamation.
Same with the Mr. Miracle series by Tom King. That was very much in its own world. It didn't have any characters. It was only New God stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just like, so you could literally adapt that comic 1-to-1 into an animated series, into the DCU, and it wouldn't be a problem because it's pretty much in its own bubble entirely. So I'm just kind of confused on what he's saying here. If it's going to be an adaptation of his own work, is it going to be an adaptation of the Kirby work, or is it going to be a melding of the two? So I don't know. It's strange to me, but we'll see how it goes. Again, prove me wrong. I have no faith in Tom King. Prove me wrong with Lanterns. Prove me wrong with Mr. Miracle. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, I was just overall kind of confused by this. So yeah.
I think Joji says hi.
Anyway, that's just my opinion on it.
I do want to know the cast. Yes, John. I think Eric and Jalen and I all want to know the cast for this. I think they're holding on to that probably for some reason until whenever they'll decide.
Well, we don't know when this is going to come out, so I would assume sometime next year, since DC is going to be pretty light next year because we only have Man of Tomorrow. First off, I think we're getting Creature Commando season 2 next year, right? Wasn't that confirmed?
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
And then we have, I would assume Nightfall Part 2 is going to come out next year because that's a trilogy. Or if it's going to be every 6 months or something, I don't know. But so I assume that's coming out next year. And then so I would assume they want to pump some stuff up because Man of Tomorrow is the only big thing now that Batman Part 2 has been delayed again. So I would assume it's coming out next year, and Tom King is working on it, and he says they have a cast in place, so I assume it's coming out next year.
Yeah, including Darkseid. I think that they probably. Yeah. I think he said that they will either getting close to recording, or they already started recording. So if they're that far along, then next year.
Oh yeah, the Jimmy and Gorilla Garage,
which is not confirmed. It's not confirmed, but it could be tomorrow.
Not confirmed. Mr. Terrific is kind of sort of confirmed as well.
But also, the date isn't confirmed. I mean,
I
they're
don't even
working
know
on
what
it.
the fuck is going on in the chat, guys. You're not even talking about this
Caleb and Figure Drawing are fighting each other about stuff.
shit.
They have been all
Whatever.
week
Anyway,
long, so.
you're all calm down. You're all beautiful. Jesus Christ. Congrats to all the talented winners, and an even bigger thank you for continuously raising the bar, aka Absolute Universe being the only thing worth it from DC right now. Best continuing series goes to Absolute Batman. Best one-shot single issue goes to Batman Annual and Absolute Batman Annual #1. Best limited series goes to Martian Manhunter. Best anthology goes to DC Pride 2025. Best graphic album reprint, Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen, the deluxe edition. Best writer / artist Jamal Campbell for Zatanna. Best coloring is Jordi Belair for Absolute Wonder Woman and The Nice House by the Sea. Best lettering goes to Hassan Otsmane Elhau. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that incorrectly. Goes to Absolute Martian Manhunter, Challengers of the Unknown, DCKO, The Flash, Green Arrow, and Poison Ivy. And that's it. So good for all of them. They all deserve great things, and they got great things for their achievements.
The Eisner Awards are like the Oscars of the comic book industry, so this is great. This is like, the best of the best in the world of comics, and clearly DC is kind of dominating that right now. Hassan is a great letterer, as you can tell by his work. That one. So let's keep going. But this is good. They talked about the nominees a while ago, and
Batman the Dark Knight Batman Dark Knight Returns turns 40 with 2 never before reproduced pages on Zoop. Okay.
Zoop, there it is. I don't know. I don't know what Zoop is, but
neither do I. It's like Vero. Remember when Zack Snyder tried to make Vero a thing, and then nobody.
Yeah, I mean he tried for a while before he finally popped in.
But he's like, no, fine, I'll go to fucking Instagram. Jesus Christ, and here we are.
Yeah. The only Batman story. Sure. Let's keep going. We talk about Absolute Batman all the time. Speaking of John.
But he's joking. DC Comics has announced Absolute Batman Beyond. Absolute Batman Beyond Arc M by Frank Thierry and Francesco Francavilla. This will introduce Absolute Professor Pig. He's the Joker's right-hand man who runs all the arcs. I don't know what fucking any of this means. The one-shot will explore the other 12 arcs and what function they serve. This will also introduce many Absolute versions of villains. So here... Sorry, here's the concept art and here's the cover. So this is definitely interesting.
Yeah.
So he masks himself even though he already looks like a pig. Okay. Sure.
That's very interesting. What are you talking about, Caleb?
Anyway, and speaking of Absolute, apparently this is Absolute Cheetah, and this is an absolute fucking nightmare. Jesus Christ. What the fuck,
Lord.
bro? This is nightmare fuel. What the fuck?
It is wild. It is wild. Absolute Cheetah.
Why are you okay? We're not gonna include Millie Alcock titty pictures into every DCU daily just for your amusement. Come on. God damn. If you don't like it, you know where the door is. Jesus Christ. Stop being so fucking horny. Jerk off before you come into DCU Daily. God, fuck.
John just going at you. Oh my god. Although, you know what, Jalen? Just for you, since you asked for it, here you go. There's
this was released, and I'm like, this looks like AI.
It does look like AI. But
that doesn't look like Millie Alcock at all. But I remember this from the movie,
but it kind of looks like she's like, I don't know, like older, like because the bone structure looks like tight, like I don't know. It's weird. I mean, it looks. I'm just saying she's not that chesty, but like it's whatever. Like it's in the movie, so I mean. Is this one of those, like, you don't pause in this
think moment? It's like it was done up with AI because like I remember her like she got dumped with water. I do remember the wet hair look, but it like this doesn't look like
this
her
looks
face.
like Dragon Ball Z-ified. Like they kind of enhance the proportions.
Millie AI. Yeah, there you go. Millie AI. Yeah, gotcha. But anyway, let's move on from the thirst traps.
Time to go
And
motorboating. Okay, Jalen.
it looks AI as fuck, bro. But anyway,
I was like, Jalen, since you asked for it, so we shall deliver.
there we go. Man of Tomorrow time, baby. Let's fucking go. We
Go from the Woman of
apparently
Tomorrow.
we have new Man of Tomorrow details. Apparently, the Daily Planet scenes are currently being filmed. A major scene with lots of extras is set to film next month in Atlanta, and could reveal Blue Beetle. We'll get back to that soon. Another villain is reportedly in the film alongside Lex Luthor and Brainiac. The sets are said to be even better than Superman. So
okay, I know we talked about they were filming the Daily Planet stuff at Daily Planet, the interiors that blocked that curtained up all the windows and stuff and the entrances. So yeah, we talked about that before. And yeah, the major scene next month, and they are meant to be going back to Atlanta again. So yeah, we'll keep our eyes peeled, and I'm sure we'll be talking about all the set photos and doing the deep dive. There's a shot right there, and we'll zoom into this.
Zoom into
when
this.
time comes.
Yeah.
Just let's keep going. There's the shot right there. Now I'll zoom into this.
But yeah, apparently Brother Power is rumored to appear in Man of Tomorrow. A mannequin brought to life by a lightning strike. He is a hippie era Silver Age deep cut created by Joe Simon, who is the co-creator for Captain America. So, yeah.
Brother Power. What a wonderful name.
And Dan, Brother Power, since he's a brother, that means he's a part of the family.
Your brother never told you never threaten a man's family?
Who? Brother Power? Like just that Kite Man at this point. Yeah.
Who? Honestly, I kind
Yeah.
of like the deep cuts. Builds the world a bit. James Gunn loves his deep cuts.
Yeah, I'm sure Rick Stunts and Rick English will be, doing the stunts for him.
Yes.
Hey, you might get to see Rick Stunts later in the show, Caleb. But yeah.
Brother Power, aka the Geek, will appear in Man of Tomorrow. Brother Power was created in the 60s by Joe Simon, making his debut in Brother Power the Geek. Motherfucker had his own series. Goddamn. Brother Power the Geek #1, the character who was inspired by Frankenstein's monster, was originally a store mannequin brought to life after being struck by lightning. Power went on to become a revolutionary political figure in the liberal and hippie counterculture, inspiring others to stand up
Wow.
for their ideals. The Geek solo series only ran for 2 issues. Yeah, that sounds about right. But Neil Gaiman later reintroduced the character as an imperfect elemental similar to Swamp Thing, who was connected to all human simulacra, such as dolls, dummies, statues, etc. More recently, Power encountered Batman in a 2010 issue of the Brave and the Bold. We assume Brother Power will only have a minor part in Man of Tomorrow, but you never really know with Gunn. There's every chance the character could end up being the latest member of the Justice Gang, playing a pivotal role to bring down Brainiac. What do you make of this? Any Brother Power fans out there? Probably not. So, yeah.
I mean, hey, he was in the Brave and the Bold series. Batman confirmed for Man of Tomorrow, John. That's what that means.
The 60s are the Silver Age was 1956 to, I believe, 1973.
Mr. Terrific him. I don't know what that means.
I want to say. But yeah, pretty much
thing,
the
Mr. Terrific?
Silver Age ended for Marvel, it ended when Gwen Stacy died. And then for DC, it ended with the Joker's 5-Way Revenge. Both of those came out in 1973. 1973. So those were essentially, they brought it into the Bronze Age, and the Bronze Age, that was like kind of darker stories and kind of brought back like more of a seriousness to comics. So that's what's like, there was like the Denny O'Neil run was in like the 70s and the 80s. So of like, Batman and all that stuff. So yeah, that was essentially honestly, here's the thing. The ages are so fucking different. Golden Age, that was like inundated with so many heroes, like so many forgotten heroes of the Golden Age. It's just like Golden Age was like darker, but at the same time, it was like more of like, it's like there was more of a groundedness to the Golden Age, and Silver Age was is the sci-fi age. It was the height of like, the 50s, the nuclear age. So there was a heavy dose of like sci-fi heroes. The one that introduced it all was the Flash. The Flash in Showcase #1 was the thing that brought about the Silver Age. And then, people like Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter, those came about later on. And we Supergirl, like the Super Family became more of a thing. So there was all that in the Silver Age, and then Bronze Age was like kind of like a good combination of both. Or like they maybe kind of went to, but it was like mainly like darker, more character driven stuff. And then Crisis on Infinite Earths essentially ended the Bronze Age, ushered in the Modern Age, which essentially we are still in today. Although there are some people that are trying to differentiate between the ages, like the late 80s and 90s was the Dark Age, and then there was like the 2000s to the 2010s was a certain age, and then post Flashpoint was like another. So it's kind of messy. Like comic book scholars are still trying to figure it out, but we are essentially like from like 1986 to now is considered the modern age, but people are still trying to differentiate that, so it's not the longest age of all time. So yeah, it's very interesting, but that's just, I'm the fucking nerd in the room, so.
But John, what does that mean for what is his name? Brother or something?
Brother Power. I don't know. He might be in the fucking movie. We'll see. But you know who's definitely in the movie that just finished filming? Aaron Pierre, because he just left Atlanta. And first off, fuck the Braves, and fuck you, Aaron Pierre, for showing that off.
I mean, he's hinting at the yellow and the Green Lantern? Yeah, I don't
possibly, maybe, we'll see. Anyway.
So wait, so by the way, what age does Brother Power end up in then? Like, is that the Golden Age?
No, that's the Silver Age. Because the Silver Age was 56 to 73.
Okay.
And he came out in 1968, so that is 100% the Silver Age.
I'm sorry, but we're done with historical epics. Let's move on, figure out, turn the page. But yes, this is actually from last week, and the photo got taken down, then I had to re-find it. So yes, it looks like last week, before he hit Hall H, Aaron Pierre finished filming for Man of Tomorrow. So that's good. Good stuff. And speaking of Aaron Pierre, let's move on to talking about lanterns, John. We got a bunch of stuff from Comic-Con to get into. They did interviews usually after the Comic-Con panels. They'll do the whole press junket. So they'll sit down for interviews with a lot of the outlets. They'll do stand-up interviews, and there's a bunch that we're gonna get into. We actually have video to play to listen to your favorite Tom King and Damon Lindelof, and then we can react to those. The first, of course, Tom King and Damon Lindelof were talking about how the show kind of goes big and crazy at one point, trying to reassure the fans that it's not just going to be very grounded, even though that's where we start. So John, this is what he had to say.
Why was that the right way to kind of put them into the DCU?
They are very much still space cops, but I think that the idea of where do we want the audience to experience their first case, because Earth is a part of the broader galactic system, etc. But I think most human beings are familiar with other human beings. So before you kind of get big and crazy, which the show, no spoilers, but does, because there's a big broad galaxy out there. We wanted to kind of start with something a little bit more familiar. And Tom, shortly before I came on, sat in a room with James Gunn and Peter Safran and a number of other comic book and movie and television luminaries. And it was his idea to basically say, what if you did Green Lanterns as a buddy cop, true detective kind of setup? And everybody leaned in because that just felt like a different way to do it. It was certainly exciting to me.
Now, Tom, you're in the DCU writers' room, basically. You're kind of part of architecting this whole thing. Can you talk a little bit about, I guess, James Gunn's involvement? And like you just did Supergirl, and now you're doing this, which is like very drastically different in aesthetics.
All right. Well, we don't need to listen to that part. But John, big and crazy. They're still human cops, but humans know humans. Thoughts?
Okay.
All right. Well, go to the next article, because then I can tee up the next clip, because they did address the whole,
Why do they need to fucking explain this? Like, they just have rings. Why is that a fucking big deal?
Well, no, because isn't the idea like you usually have one lantern that's selected? But anyway, they didn't really give away much, but they did kind of.
They abandoned that fucking years ago. There's 6 of them now. Who gives a fuck?
I know.
Or 7
I know.
if you count the bitch from Far Sector who was made canon for some reason.
But let's see what that to say.
Sweet spot without it being totally jarring.
First off, I should just say I made that comment, and I stand by it.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
It's about like how, you know, people have been saying like Guy Gardner in the trailer looks like a character plopped from a different cartoon that makes a little cameo in Lanterns because he's like so colorful and these lanterns aren't. So.
No. Please, Tom, take it away.
I mean, one thing to lean on is Nathan is a fantastic actor who can adjust to situations, but the thing to really lean on is the source material. Guy Gardner in the comics, he is a little bit more elevated, a little bit more goofy, and he has always, since in the last 40 years, been that guy in the comics, you know, since the Maguire Giffen run, of the guy who's just a little bit up. So to me, it feels very true to the history of these characters, and it also gives a balance to where those three people are and how they interact with sort of superheroes. And to me, it's a wonderful glance on how three different heroes handle the same power set and deal with the world. It's cool.
Yeah, and I'll also say Guy is introduced in James's Superman film, and he's the Green Lantern, and so, you know, our show basically had to accommodate that. We wanted all of the projects to be talking to one another and not sort of siloed off in their own storylines, and so it was important for us to feel Guy and explain, you know, what role Hal and John have in the overarching sort of narrative of how many rings are there, who has the rings, you know, who's looking over this particular sector, et cetera, et cetera. I'll just say there's more Nathan than a cutscene. You know, I mean, we got our Nathan's worth.
Yeah.
So a lot of Nathan. I mean, it's not a cameo, John. We're gonna get.
And he doesn't die either, so you were wrong about that.
I mean, sure, I took that on the nose a long time ago, but I mean, hey, you know what? There's time yet. There's time yet for that to change.
Hell, the fucking leaks. The leaks turned out to be false because there was like the first 3 episodes that got leaked, and it was like, oh, Alan Scott's gonna die, and then that turned out to be fucking false. So
I don't even know if Alan Scott is in the show, but like,
no, he's not. He's not.
Yeah, but I will say this though, they did say that, you know, James, and in other parts of the interview, they also mentioned how like there was a lot of guidance that they were given, which I assume is like James Gunn is saying, well, Hal exists, go with it. So well, not Hal, but like Guy exists, go with it. But they did also address, if you go to that article
8.
that you just had up,
technically 8, because Alan Scott, Hal Jordan, Jon Stewart, Guy Gardner, Kyle Rayner, Simon Baz, Jessica Cruz, and Sojourner, blah blah blah. I don't fucking know.
Mullen or something? Moline?
Yeah,
anyway.
something like that. I don't know. Mullins, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lanterns co-creator cheeses Yellow Lanterns and by the show ditched the early idea of a young Hal Jordan because fuck you. That's why. Because Damon Lindelof and Tom King hates us. That's why.
Well, this is what they had to say about young Hal.
Eating the general core of the show. When did you have them in mind?
I think a big part of it was figuring out how old Hal Jordan was going to be in our introduction to him. I think that there was a part of us that was like, okay, we're getting the first crack at Hal Jordan inside the DCU as a prestige HBO drama. Shouldn't we just be doing young Hal, you know, in much the same way that, you know, around the same era as the Ryan Reynolds film. And then, but once it became clear, I think by virtue of Tom's pitch, that it was going to be a sort of part Training Day, part buddy cop thing, that it was about a passing of the baton, we started to think, wouldn't it be interesting if Hal didn't want to let go of the baton, but he's running the relay race nonetheless. And I think that there was just something kind of working through the culture around the old guard not wanting to be replaced.
Damon, this is not your first time taking a beloved comic book and turning it into HBO series.
They talk about Watchmen, but like basically, apparently it was Tom King's idea to do, like, when they were in the writer's room at the beginning of the DC Studios time, that he wanted to do a buddy cop thing, John. So it was Tom King's idea, and then Damon Lindelof came in and had to kind of run with it. So that's confirmation of that. Reiner's gonna cameo in what? Okay. I mean, I look, I'm buying into the show more and more. By the way, John, they did also talk about Yellow Lanterns, which is like right here in the image. So just take a listen to that.
People are stoked about that, getting some color in there. There's a lot of mention of fear. A lot of talk about fear. Is there any chance there's maybe like another color lantern that somehow relates to fear? Anything you can say about that?
Yeah, I can't wait to be dragged for saying that it's not yellow enough. The show's not yellow enough. The green, the yellow, they're the black and white of the Lanterns universe. They're oppositional forces. All I can say is stay tuned, and I think I'd say we would be irresponsible if we didn't at least contemplate working some yellow magic in there, but no guarantees.
Now, watching the trailer, it's always like, I hate when trailers spoil the entire thing, and I think a lot of people sort of want to know what they're signing up for. And with a show, that's a little bit different from a movie because there's a lot more ground to cover. You kind of alluded to there being bigger, more spectacular things, waiting in the deep end. Is that a fair assessment to say the trailers haven't really shown us much?
We're dropping a much more extensive trailer in the very near future, and hopefully that will scratch the itch that you are describing. I will just say, and I think that I speak for Tom on this, and certainly Chris, we are in your camp. We don't want the trailers to give everything away, but we also understand that if you're proud of the work, you should show what you did.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, John, Yellow Lanterns maybe, and
I mean,
Sinestro's
there. I mean,
That's true. I mean, I guess maybe that's what they're hinting at, which would be like obvious. But also they're hinting at that we're gonna get another trailer soon, which is gonna be more revealing. That makes sense because the show comes out 2 weeks from now, pretty much.
August 16th.
16th. It's a little over 2 weeks, so I'd imagine like they'll get like one big trailer before the thing comes out. But yeah. I mean, hey, you know what? We listened to you like...
Although, speaking of trailers, Dan, apparently this past trailer got 24 million views in 2 days. It is now the most viewed trailer for any DC series ever, which, considering there's not many of those that were, released post, like, YouTube corporatism, that makes sense. But, yeah.
That's good. 24 million is not bad. I mean, I remember okay.
Meanwhile, fucking like
Oranges,
Doomsday got like 100 million views in like a day. So
yeah, it was. It got like 500, but like the YouTube one alone had like 13 million in the first 5 hours. But I mean, look, they're not competing in the same arena,
right? No, I'm just saying.
But yeah, I mean, I like the idea of like we're gonna get another trailer before the show comes out. I don't think it's necessary, but sure, I guess they're talking about it. So Damon Lindelof hinted at it.
Also, I like how they edited this picture and made Sinestro more pink.
Yeah, there's like somebody turned up the saturation on this.
Yeah, 100%.
By the way, did you want to go through the episode runtimes?
Yeah, sure. Why not? What the fuck else are we gonna do, right?
Cryptic 4K
So Cryptic 4K Qual has also revealed the titles and runtimes for the first 4 episodes. Pilot, obviously that makes sense, for 57 minutes. Trustfall, 52 minutes. Outcast with a capital K, 54 minutes. And The Weenie, great name for an episode, 52 minutes.
That sounds like something out of a SpongeBob, but the Outcast with a K sounds interesting. I wonder what that is referring to.
Weenie Hut Lanterns. Yeah. Anyway, but I think we saw this SpongeBob
reference. Yes, it's from Comic-Con. It's not even. This is an image of it, not like the actual.
More mutants. Anyway, but yeah.
I like the runtimes though, John. These sound like full episodes, no less than 50 minutes for the most part. But the latter half, the second set of 4 episodes from episodes 5 to 8, I'm sure we'll find out when the show starts airing. They probably have like spoilers, so yeah.
Laura Linney's surprising role confirmed. Tom King teases a really big reveal.
Yeah, well, we know Laura's playing a Guardian. What did Tom King say?
Do you have that, or do I need to?
No, I didn't pick that one out. That's from the room itself. This
Chris Mundy said that she's going to be a Guardian. Yeah. So, yeah. Tom King says there are other references to other Green Lanterns throughout Lanterns and teases one really big reveal. So I assume I'm going to take a guess, not just because he's the next one, but considering that they're kind of like there's like Parallax vibes with Hal Jordan, it seems like they might introduce like Kyle Rayner, because I mean when fucking Hal goes evil in the comics and like fucking I don't know, John and Guy get fucking yeeted after out of the Green Lantern Corps, then Kyle Rayner becomes the only Green Lantern. So it seems like they might set him up like if like Hal Jordan dies, but then he comes back as Parallax, then they might do like, oh, John Stewart guy got her. Well, we need another Green Lantern now. Oh, fucking Kyle Rayner comes in, so we'll do that. But yeah, that's.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. They clearly are not, hesitant to add in more lanterns. I wouldn't mind seeing that. That would be a big reveal because they have not talked about that at all. Wasn't Kyle Rayner one of the guys in the previous iteration of the show under the DCEU? Like it was gonna be
I think he was mentioned, but he wasn't cast because the guys that were cast were Alan Scott and Guy Gardner. Finn Wittrock was going to play Guy Gardner, and then I think Jeremy somebody was going to play Alan Scott. And then they mentioned that like throughout the show they were going to introduce more lanterns, which would have been Kyle Rayner, Simon Baz, Jessica Cruz, but that would have been like if they kept going on and on.
I think they were going to save the Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart for the movies at the time.
That's what it was, because they were trying to get a Green Lantern Corps movie off the ground. And it never came to be, and they were saving those two because those were the most popular ones. They are the most popular ones. So then it's like, all right, you get the rest of them on the show, and then neither of which happens. So,
and I think, but that ultimately evolved into what we're getting here in the DCU. But Nelson, to your question, do you guys think Lanterns will have a better season than the 2 Peacemaker seasons?
John it's apples and oranges.
I personally think so, because I think this show has bigger potential. It's also the difference is,
but it's like one's a drama, one's a comedy. Like I don't know. It's
but also I think Peacemaker was ultimately made as a Max original, and Max originals, even though they now are kind of under the same roof or whatever, like the Penguin, Lanterns is an HBO show. HBO calls the shots. They greenlight the show. DC can do their pitches, but if HBO passes on it, it doesn't happen. Now, Max is kind of similar, but I feel like HBO is the next level up. Like Max was there, but then HBO, like the bar for quality is much higher. So I do think on that level that my expectation is it should be better. And I think that's also the reason why Jalen, the episodes are longer, because again, the budgets, and then Max shows technically still, I mean, not that they're making many of them anymore because it's all like under the HBO roof, but HBO shows, because they also air on linear HBO still if you have it. Most people don't, but if you do, you can watch it there. That's why the Penguin aired on prime time, like Sunday nights, and then also ended up streaming on HBO same day, like the Game of Thrones shows, House of the Dragon, Night of the Seven Kingdoms, much like that. So yeah, HBO shows are like almost a full hour long. And that's why. I mean, different vibes. Yeah, I mean, in terms of Peacemaker and 2 very different kind of shows. So like John said, I mean, there's a chance we might get Checkmate people, or maybe down the road a Peacemaker cameo. That would be nice. But yeah, all right. That's all the Lantern stuff we had. Let's get on to the Batman Part 2. Lots of set photos, John. Remember we talked about they were filming in Liverpool and that bridge on the River Kwai? Not that bridge, but like there's a bridge in Liverpool. I forget the name of. We'll find out in a minute. But they've been filming there.
Wasn't that what it's called?
Yes, something about corn. But I mean, they're apparently also going to be moving to Glasgow soon. But let's start here. They were shooting this big chase scene where an ambulance is crossing a bridge, and the drifter persona of Robert Pattinson's Batman, basically like without the bat suit, but like in his drifter hoodie on just a standard bicycle, he's following in close behind. Can you zoom into this? Are you able to like go full screen? But like basically a lot of people are able to observe this because like they're doing the run back and forth because these are still stunts. So I'm sure that's Ricky Stunts or Ricky English in the bike. But yeah, if you want, are you able to like go full screen on it so we can get a closer look? John, Caleb wants to see Ricky Stunts, and maybe we'll catch a glimpse of Ricky English while we're at it. But this movie looks nice. So I mean, look, they're starting to film the real business end of this without the actors so far, but it's kind of similar to when they were filming all the stunt stuff back in the day for the first movie, and we were seeing all those clips. But yeah, I mean, they were laying out snow and stuff, and yeah, so a lot of stuff there. I'll just switch over to my feed from here. So let's take a look. So we got the GCPD here, cars, they drag those in. So again, very much not what police looks like in the UK. And then they did close off the Queensway Tunnel. So yeah, people filming that stuff. So they are filming stuff in the tunnel. We talked about it. Remember they did this with the damaged police car. So I guess they were practicing then, or whatever they filmed. Because here you can see now they've closed it off, so like you can't see from the outside. Kind of like what they're doing with like the interiors for the Daily Planet, where they didn't want to like. They'll probably replace whatever the outside is meant to look like in the movie once you exit the tunnel. So they're filming there. So this is all in Liverpool. And then if you keep going up again, more cars, just dressed in fake snow, a lot of production cars. East End heavy goods, that's clearly obviously like you don't find that in Liverpool, but New York reference, Gotham reference. And remember, they were gonna shoot with a helicopter. Now I don't know if that means the helicopter's in the shot, because I'm sure, or if it's meant to be, because like in the Batman, when they go to the funeral, they see the GCPD chopper in the air. But this might be, that looks like that's got a camera at the end, so this might be just getting aerial shots of the sequence that we were looking at just a minute ago. But yeah, let's keep going. So yeah, again, there's the bike that Ricky stunts and Ricky English rides in the night. So, I mean, a lot of stunt stuff, but still, I mean, we'll get to the more spicy stuff in a second. But you could tell, I mean, a lot of heavy machinery to like move things around. They had to like dress up making a movie, that you're filming in July when it's meant to look like December is a lot of extra work, because you got to dress up the snow and everything, and then you got to like, undo it, and then in between takes, you got to, redo it. We don't really know who Scarlett Johansson is playing, by the way. There's been hints, but like we don't really know for sure. So yeah, let's keep going. Again, the set lighting, you got the big Warner Brothers got a huge setup in the UK with Leavesden, so they drove all north with this stuff. So those guys were there. So again, pretty big presence. Let's see. Yeah, more of this stuff around. Cars. This is when they actually had the snow down. So again, they redo it between each of the takes. You got all the winter jackets for the extras. I hope those are hollowed out, because otherwise you'd be really hot inside those. So, yep, let's keep rolling through. More of the cars, more of the chopper. You see it's got the camera at the end there. So that's definitely like for filming. And yeah, a lot of prep goes in this. A lot of like hurry up and wait on movie sets like this. But there you go. There's a glimpse, Caleb. You got Ricky stunts there, Ricky English there, and then there's George. Oh, then there's Ricky stunts again. Cool. Let's keep going. And there's the ambulance.
There's the shot right there.
There's the shot. Wee woo. And or like Patrick, like
there's the shot. There's the shot right there. Now.
There's the shot. If we zoom into this,
we'll zoom into this.
No, literally,
I'm repeating myself.
I know. I don't know why you're repeating yourself, but I think there's a glitch with how the audio gets routed in StreamYard. Once you share audio on something, I'm gonna mute that for a second. Hold on. Now you shouldn't hear an echo, but here we go. So this is the video. They ran this back multiple times. There's your drifter guy. Lots of, I'm sure, test runs. I mean, obviously not real snow. Yeah, it's yeah, clip so nice. We played it twice. I'm pretty sure we have trademarked this at this point. I'll zoom into this. It's like it's gotta be. And then you load up the cars, because the cars have to go like, these are all the extras. Dude, Gotham very much feels like 2000s New York City with the car models they've got. What the hell is this? Oh, this thing is just spraying down more snow. Look at that. That's a lot of set prep. It's a lot of set prep, but certainly it looks like it's the wintertime. There's more Ricky stunts. Here we go. This is,
I will say, I think the drifter is definitely the closest thing we'll ever have to like a Matches Malone persona for Batman. So I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. No, I agree. So yeah, this is going full tilt. So they're shooting this with a chopper. I'm guessing this is a lot of the photography here is being done from a camera. There are people inside, by the way. And as we go on, we know maybe we know some of the people who are inside the ambulance, John. I might even be getting some Dark Knight vibes here. There's one for you, Caleb. Don't you worry, we'll get to it. So again, and they kept filming this. So again, you could see like they kept shooting as the night went on, because obviously you didn't get it all in one take. They probably had multiple camera angles. I bet you there's cameras that they're using, within the ambulance itself. Unless they're all, I think it looks like they're all stunt actors, so they're not the real actors in the roles, but that would make sense. And they're doing different lighting things. I don't know if that's the bridge by itself, but I guess they were trying things out. And then, yeah. So they did light the bridge. So I wonder if they're like shooting it at different times of day, because this, John, looks like the same sequence. So I don't know if like once the movie comes out, maybe we figure out whether this was meant to be a night scene or a day scene, or they were doing a day for night just in case. Because like they're clearly doing the same sequence here. And yeah, same stuff. And yeah, clearly they were playing around with the lighting. So there's that. Not a whole lot more than just more the drifter. There you go. There's George's bike. And we keep going. And what else is there? Okay, so now they're shooting this. So this might be, again, more VFX stuff. So the fact that they're doing this again without the other cars, this was either more tech rehearsal, or they're trying to do it so they have like more of a clean plate so they can add in the other cars separately. But yeah, it's the same sequence. That van is going at a good 40, 50 miles per hour. So they're
it's an ambulance. I would hope it fucking goes fast.
Right. But you can see they got blue screen set extensions. So this is going to be like they're going to extend the background digitally. So again, they got a junkyard set that they're building. Now, John, we get into the real shit. So YouTuber Mr. Sunday Movies said that a viewer, by the way, thank you to the Batman Saga News for picking all this up, and
Batman Epic Crime Saga.
The Becks. But Mr. Sunday Movies said a viewer sent them this info after having minimal details in the Batman Part 2 set, which is he saw people moving between sets, John, that were dressed in suits wearing owl masks. There's a junkyard set. We have photos of that. There's a ballroom set. I don't think we have seen that. The junkyard set is the only one we have seen. We don't have any photos of people wearing owl masks, but it's getting to the point now where it's starting to become a bit more obvious this is the Court of Owls. And then as we keep going, more aerial views of the set.
It'd be cool.
Snowed out the whole.
It'd be real cool if that is the case. Again, John's theory time. The only way I will accept anything for Sebastian Stan other than Two-Face is if he's Talon. That would be cool. Which is like
mind that.
Talon is like one of like the Court of Owls like assassins essentially. It's really cool. Like, we'll see.
Look at this shit, by the way. Like this is, this would look great on film, like especially with how they'll be probably shooting it, like less drone-like, but like kind of you get the idea. So
Dweeb with a drone. What a great username.
But this is kind of like what is going to be in the movie. So remember this footage, guys. Even if it is a very short clip in the actual film or 1 or 2 shots. But it does look like there's some sort of a, ambulance situation where Batman and his drifter getup is going to be chasing me. It doesn't look like this is a chase scene per se. He's just following the ambulance. And there's not a lot of police here. So I don't think this is like the Dark Knight necessarily, like where they were doing something completely different. 2020, it looks like a good year for superhero movies. They haven't really done much with this yet, but hey, Con O'Neill looks like he's rocking the mustache again, so Chief Bach will be back. I don't know if I'm the biggest fan of that character, but sure.
I don't even fucking remember him.
He was the guy who, like, by default becomes commissioner when everybody else above him dies, right? Isn't that the one?
Yes, maybe. Yeah. I don't fucking remember. I don't remember most of this movie. I just remember it was too long. And I froze again. Fucking stupid.
Well,
hang on. Every time I
while
fucking put my camera away, it fucking freezes. Like, it's so stupid.
But as I was saying, while you do that, John, it does look like they are going to continue production this week in Glasgow. So moving from Liverpool up north a little further into Glasgow, where you get all these gothic vibes, which of course they shot a lot of stuff in Glasgow for the first movie, so not a surprise they're doing that.
Makes sense.
But yeah, more stuff from.
It turns plot twist. All these set photos are AI generated. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's just the illusion.
Matthews is cursing you, George, says Caleb. Dude, they really do make these cars look like they're driving in the middle of winter time. I hope that guy's whatever that jacket he's wearing is not actually like making him sweat, gallons of fluid, because they're shooting this. He must have done
God,
that.
I'm not envious because like Jesus Christ, it's so fucking hot out. I couldn't like. It's funny. My mom and I were driving around earlier today, and like we see people with like leggings on them, like and like sweatpants. I'm like, bro, how the fuck are you walking around in pants? The fuck, man.
Well, if you got the material that kind of like wicks sweat or like feels cool,
I guess. And then Brian Tyree Henry, stunt double.
Yeah, what are we gonna call him?
In a suit. That's interesting because there was the whole thing of like, oh, he's gonna be Harvey Dent instead of Sebastian Stan. I'm like, I don't know, but he'll be great. If he is, I'm just saying Sebastian Stan would be such peak casting that it's just like I can't imagine anybody else for Sebastian Stan. It's just like, and I feel like he'd be such a waste as Victor Zsasz, bro. It's just like,
I mean,
damn.
We might find out. But hey, Foxy English. Caleb gave him the name, so the stuntman for Brian Tyree Henry is Foxy English. I wasn't gonna go places that I should.
Although I will say something that made me laugh. Hang on a sec, Dan. Was fucking. Jeffrey Wright's stunt double, which looks like oh my god!
I was gonna say
he looks like Gene Shalit. Like what the fuck? R.I.P. Gene Shalit, but like what the fuck is that? Really? That's the best you can fucking do for Jeffrey Wright? Because like it was like what was so funny is I just saw Jeffrey Wright and Brian Tyree on the Batman set. I'm like, and because I was like scrolling through this so I could see, and I was like. Those don't fucking look like them. What the fuck is this? And then when I read through it again, I'm like, oh, it's their doubles. You idiots! You got their stunt doubles, and it's just like Joffrey Wrong is what I call him.
It's like if you ask, dude, if you ask AI to generate their doubles, this is what they will look like. It's so crazy. I know they just need to like just barely.
Gary Oldman after he's been floating in the river for 3 days.
Oh. Why?
Bro,
why?
What the
fuck? Dude. He looks, dude, the Joffrey Wrong is like the greatest, stunt double, like
Joffrey
laughing
Wrong.
at this shit.
King Joffrey Wrong. Anyway.
Wild.
We'll
but
go
hey,
back.
Random dude.
Speaking of it, we got Charles Dance's stunt double in a wig because woof, that fucking wig, bro.
Yeah, damn. I mean, I guess they only need to remotely resemble because again, if they're shooting this from the chopper, you just need to get silhouettes because you can see through the man.
Right.
There you go. There's a side view at Joffrey Wrong. Great wig, great mustache. There it is. John, I'm gonna zoom into this. Let's right there.
There's the shot right there. Now I'll zoom into this.
Right there, John. There's the shot. This looks like a little AI enhanced because I'm like the mustache is leaning one way, no, and it's like blending into the wire.
I don't know, but like his cheeks are so like pronounced that it's just like he looks like he's just like in a river for 3 days, bro. It's like I hate to sound mean, like I hate to. I'm not trying to be mean against this guy. It's just like he doesn't resemble Jeffrey Wright. I get like stunt doubles aren't supposed to look exactly like their guys. It's just like I feel like they're not even trying.
You should make Joffrey Wrong your picture.
Please do. I will give you money to fucking do that.
Oh my god. Okay, let's zoom out of this for a moment. We have more stuff. Okay, so Dean Hyatt Powell, who's going to be a party guest at the ballroom sequence, has been cast apparently in there. Oh, there's Joffrey Wrong and Foxy Stunts.
Foxy
There you go.
English. Foxy English.
Foxy English, right. Oh, there it is, right there. Honka honka.
Jared Leto?
No, he changed his photo. Look, Caleb changed his photo.
I'm like, oh god, is Jared Leto in this movie? Fuck!
Oh man, Unbox PhD. All right, and Egg Boy doing a lot of the heavy work. Okay, so multiple road closures are expected to happen soon on the production for the Batman Part 2. As it moves to Glasgow, crews will set up first. Filming will take place over a 3-week period starting from August 18th. So as we do weekly reviews of Lanterns, we'll be doing probably a lot of set photo looks at the Batman Part 2. It does make sense. It usually takes the crew maybe like a week to set up, and then they'll like actually start filming. I wonder if this is still going to be a lot of second unit stuff, John, or if they will actually have actors come over. But they do have locations here. Filming locations include Bothwell Street, Wellington Street, Glasgow Bridge, so another bridge, Broomielaw, I don't know if I pronounced that right. Fiona, help me. Newen Street, North Street, Pitt Street, and the National Cycle Network, Route 75 along the River Clyde. I bet Fiona and her mom probably, especially her mom who grew up in Glasgow, recognize all of these locations.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to save that one for later. But let's keep going. So lots of locations going up to Glasgow. Apparently, though, John, at one point, you know, Foxy English and Joffrey Wrong did climb into the van. Let me zoom into this now. There's the shot right there. I don't know whose body that is that they're sitting over, but clearly some dude or dudette.
Well, it's probably that dude in that picture that Matt Reeves posted to his Twitter. Remember, like, he showed the clapboard and there was a dead body in the background, so I assume it's the same guy.
Oh, okay. Well, unless it's another serial murder situation and, you know, serial killer situation. So
but I could also definitely, somebody said like in that post, like, oh, it's the crime doctor, where I'm like, yeah, okay, that's obvious. I'm like, yeah, sure it is. But I could also see like, obviously I could see Harvey Dent because that was their rumor, but I could also see maybe Harvey Bullock. They introduce him in this movie. That could be interesting.
Man, Caleb's got a whole Power Rangers team going. Ricky Stunts, Ricky English, Joffrey Wrong, Foxy English, George. Damn, son. All right. Oh, here's the video. Why look at a photo when you can do a video instead? It's just the loop. But yeah, they're in there. They're in there. It doesn't really tell you. I guess we're just now trying to figure out who the stunt people are representing. Who's the dead body supposed to be? It's like whatever. So. Okay, John, that's all the photos. That's all the set photos. So clearly, whoever Brian Tyree Henry is playing is actually going to be, that character is in the van, and, you know, Detective Gordon is also in the van. I'm wondering if this is like Alfred going for another close call with the afterlife, like the first movie. Although that would feel like it would be a little, you know, on the nose that they're doing it twice.
Yeah.
So is it Harvey? Could it be Harvey?
Harvey, can we trust him?
It's Matt Reeves still writing his script secretly in the ambulance. You know what? I'm going to go with that because that is the best theory I've heard so far, Caleb. And it's actually probably very plausible that it is Matt Reeves writing the script in the ambulance. Yeah, when you're that slow, sometimes, you know, it can have long-term effects on you, as it were. But on that wonderful note, John, I think we'll wrap up for the night. We'll be back tomorrow. Tier List Tuesday. Who's winning Tier List Tuesday? Do we want to speculate?
It's best films of 2026 by pretty much a long shot.
Shit, it was close before. Okay, I guess like it fell away. All right, so cool. 45% of.
I don't know how we're gonna do best because it's like obviously like the best movies that I picked so is like gonna be my favorite. So like I'm gonna try and pick like. I'm gonna try and pick a bunch of movies.
I'll give you a few options. I'll give you a few suggestions, John.
Because I think what I'm gonna do, I think a good way is like to get like a good spread. Is like maybe the best quote unquote movies of like maybe each month. So like
I think that's a good way to do it. Yeah, I mean, how
many months so we're like it's not just 7? Like Obsessions, Backrooms, Hokum, The Odyssey, like everything from like the last 3 months. I want a good spread of stuff. So. Yeah.
At least it's not historical epics. Fuck you, Caleb. But anyway.
Hey, he didn't vote for it. He can make fun of it all
I
he
know.
wants.
I know. I mean, you guys voted for this shit. Movie trilogies came in second, so we'll be back on next week's Mount Rushmore Monday poll. But if you guys have ideas, ranking of Rick worst stunt names, I wouldn't mind doing that, actually, to be fair. Rick Stunts is probably my favorite, but like Foxy English is now the close second. So, and Joffrey Wong, kind of mid. Rick English, George. George is just very unoriginal. George is definitely D.
I like Joffrey Wrong. That's definitely the best one.
But anyway, Caleb, hey, if you guys have any ideas for the best films of 2026 so far for the tier list tomorrow, get in the comments after the show is live, and then we'll take your ideas. We'll take John and I's best, picks, and we'll do that tomorrow. And of course, DCU Daily. So come back here, hit the like button while you're here or on your way out. Hit the notification bell if you're not subscribed. If you aren't subscribed, hit subscribe. We're here 5 days, sometimes 6 or maybe even 7 days a week. So of course, we'll be back tomorrow. Until then, John, as James Gunn would say, and maybe the Batman Part 2 is sort of blessed from the beginning, because, I mean, it's been a while, but, yeah, all right. Joffrey Wong for the win. Fox English.
It's another project that's been blessed from the beginning.
There's the shot, right there. That.
Okay, we don't need to see
right there.
Hey, buddy. Eyes up here.
Now you want to get nuts?
Let's get nuts. Here we go.
Victory mine. Ask me how am I doing? I'm telling you, really, I'm doing sublime. I never wait in a stewardess line. I just go do it. I'm moving my time. Really had nothing to do with it. How am I moving? I'm moving like you want to shine. Follow my lead. Don't listen to lies. I had to put me all on the line. That's why I know that victory's mine.
I prefer Jared Leto.
Honka, honka.
Fuck David Ellison and Tom King and Jeff Snyder. All of them.